melody. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Onyibe Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Onyibe Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Freedom is here. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Onyibe Biafra. Freedom, freedom is here. It's here. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na, na, yeah, 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 yeah. You walk it on Hey, Papa God, I want to thank you for this beautiful thing what you did do for us. Finally Biafra is here, so make you never give up. I know yes, they killed us many years back. I know yes, they try to pull us down, but this kinda walk this way. Thank you for all the good things. Now you don't make us better. Now everything done better. Now thank you for the good things. See everything done better. We're living fine. It makes me cry when I see my brothers being killed. Nigerian soldiers keep on killing us because we said for freedom. Yeah, take my life, but you can never take away that joy. Freedom is ours. We got what it takes to live. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Onyibe Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Freedom is here. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Onyibe Biafra. Biafra, my country, my country. Biafra. Yes, we never give up. Yes, we no go give up. Never give up. No, no they give up. My country Biafra, we no go give up. Biafra, Biafra, Biafra.
Biafra Restoration Project is on course. It remains sacrosanct. It is irreversible, and no amount of force can dampen nor quench the ingenuity and the resilience of the indomitable Biafran spirit. There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever.
Yes, sir. Once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people wherever you are all over the world, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you good night, depending on your time zone. As always, this is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is being anchored by Diokpa Uche Okafomefo. Diokpa Uche Okafomefo hails from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Diokpa Uche Okafomefo is the man who has simply assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. I knew that most of you do not understand the mindset behind those words. And today, you know. By the special grace of the Almighty God, I remain George Onyibe. And I come from Agbo. Agbo is in Anyoma province. Anyoma province is in Delta State. and Delta State is Biafra land. I must, as customary demand, as it is in our character to do, to acknowledge good men and evil ones as well. I will begin to acknowledge the father of the new nation, Chief Raphael Wazurike, for the role he has played as far as this Biafra issue is concerned. Of course, we cannot take any glory without acknowledging God and those who has gone before us. I acknowledge Alhaji Asare Dokobo, Chairman Implementation Committee, Biafra de facto customary government, who is deputized by our sister Rita Anebogo. And of course, you have Uchenna Sibu, we have Dr. Kado, we have Mazu Bidiubinu, we have Ngonyo. Of course, we have Edaunyale. We have Ikena Wanoneni. We acknowledge all of you, all the pro-Biafran group. Of course, we have so numerous to mention. All of you who are working from one end to another to ensure Chukwemeka Iruanya, all of you, we acknowledge you on this platform. And of course, I will move on to acknowledge the unique people, Biafra Nation Alliance family. You are doing well, I can assure you that. From Chimezie to Odu Guinea to Ukuonweka to Mazingu Kinkwo to Nwanzurumba, Agongwanye, all the way to Ada Biafra, Uduka, all of you, Bruno, Chukode, we acknowledge you. Your sacrifice will not be in vain. It is yielding result already. And may God continue to shape our way ahead of us. And I will acknowledge the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, the misguided brothers we have. They are always on Facebook. Our battle is with them is going to another stage now. The only thing they can do is to curse. The only thing indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu can do is to yap. The only thing indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu can do is getting ready to sell the next generation. But we say under our watch, we are the Biafran watchmen. We go nowhere. You will not survive. Continue to negotiate. We are standing by. And so those of you from Kuwait under the directive of China Sanguru, please, I'm on now. Call others. And so the next generation will see the breed you are made up of. Very rotten, decayed individuals. It's unfortunate. And having done that, I also have to appreciate sympathizers, observers, and of course, major players on this very role. We acknowledge all of you. We understand the complicity, the complication in everything we are doing. But somewhere along the line, we know the Almighty Creator will enable us to navigate our home successfully back home. And that is Biafra land. And so, in my humble way, I said to the Creator, thank you. Anyị na-aja gị mma o, maka n'eziokwu ị mara mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o ịmakwa n'inwe gị mgbanwe o ọ dị onye dị ka gị ịbụ Alpha na Omega anyị niile na-asị na as always, as I promised the last time, that was the day before yesterday, that we are going to continue on that very segment. And of course, our topic remains the same. 5 categories of self-inflicted war that we must have to fight. This is the part 2 of that very series. five categories of self-inflicted war that we must fight. A lot of people do not understand that we are in a battle. And to some of you, it is fun. But I pray that you will not be left or caught off guard when it will range to your own area. In our day before yesterday broadcast, we made us to understand that the people of Biafra has so many wars in time past. We fight to survive economic strangulation. We fight to survive political marginalization. We're fighting against indirect rules and policies. We are fighting against harassment, intimidation, and indiscriminate killing of our people. All of these rules are not of our own making. And the idea behind this is to make you understand that as we fight to defend Biafra in the last outpost, we must be very careful. We must ensure that no matter how it's going to be, the battleground must be of our own choosing. And of course, we considered first of all the media war, which is ongoing. And that is why, if you see, I have blocked some indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu from my page. I have blocked many of them, so you may not be able to see more insult. This is media war. They are lying. If Barrister Ojofo can begin to deceive you with a pastor, they are prophesying for you. You should know this is complicated war. Home video. Look at freedom fighters. It's a shame. I can only pray that before the end of this war, that God will vindicate his people. It's a war. Now they are controlling your brain. Hey, one Odumodwe is a blessing in Nnamdi Kanu. He has prophesied. With all this power, why can't you people cure the mind of our people? And monkeys and babu, according to Nnamdi Kanu. Hey, prophet, I prophesied. Hey, prophet. Oh my God. I thought we were so brilliant. I thought we were so intelligent. How can we be mesmerized in such a manner? It's media war anyway. They have to have grip over your mind, the way you think, and then they reduce you to nothing. But in your mind, you think you are intelligent, you think you are brilliant. But we come from a Christian society, and as such, almost all of us from the elementary stage of our life, we were taught the way of the Bible. Don't you know that even the prophet, that the prophecy itself can be altered? The more you look into the future, the more everything change. Because when God say, I'm going to kill George Onyibe today, and somebody who loves George Onyibe have the spiritual mandate to stand before God and say, no, don't kill George Onyibe, and God may listen to such request and then he postponed it. Don't you understand? We are the only one that can save ourselves. Very soon, a far or a man will prophesy the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But whatever bargain Nnamdi Kanu have going behind us with some corrupt politicians, we are waiting. If this is war anyway, we made you understand that, of course, the categories of war, we have what do you call it, the real Nigerian war. And of course, that we talk about taking advantage of the situation to strike our people, influencing the system through judicial assassination of our own interest. And of course, the third one we looked at there was the self-inflicted war. And that is the creation of orphan widows, the blackmailed individuals, the aggrieved Biafrans, the fraction or those who have interest. All this war, we are going to fight it. IPOB has succeeded in creating more of open enemy. You made them your open enemy. And to you now, China Sanwo-Olu is jumping up and down. The gangster called US are jumping up and down. And when I look at some of the things they write on social media, I begin to pity for them. One of them wrote that I read online today. He said, very soon now, we will start going to their house one by one. Go and ask Nnamdi Kanu, why is he running from Niger Delta? I thought Igodomigodo is Biafra. If Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB punk turn this agitation to Igbo, this one will not end. Go and ask Nnamdi Kanu, why is he Igbo-nizing Biafra agitation? It's a shame. It's a shame. I thought Igodomigodo is Biafra. Idoma is Biafra. Igala is Biafra. He has pipped. He has pipped it. And he knows what is coming for him. He cannot sell anybody there. And then you are very proud Igbo man. You are beheading your brother. You are very proud Igbo man. You are betraying your own people. You are very proud Igbo man. To kill your brother. That is when you have power. Very useless set of people over there that you are fighting for freedom. I am praying to God to give you the morale to do that thing you are doing. This is how we've been telling Nnamdi Kanu. You can't seal us. You can't document us. He refused. He is a God. Now the stage is set for a God to prove himself, because we will put his righteousness to the test. And some of you say, hey, we got to leave Nnamdi Kanu and move ahead. How can we do that? How can we do that? Okay, why don't we leave Nigeria and then got to move ahead? Why don't we leave Nigeria and then we got to move ahead? Let us look at evil in the face and call it evil. You're supporting rubbish. You're supporting criminality. Maybe because you stay in diaspora. Maybe because you have spent so money. We can assure you Biafra will be restored. But not through criminality. They are selecting those they kill now. And sometimes they will tell you, we will begin to kill our politician. We will begin to kill this. But then, if you kill any politician, Nnamdi Kanu should die alongside. For his brother fine boy to be riding a jeep coming from governor, are they not all accomplished? We say we come to save our people. Now look at what we have done to them. And on Monday is coming. You are going to still do sit at home. And if you people stop that shit at home, shame on all of you. They have started telling you, no, there will be no election in Anambra. I know they shame. How can we allow ourselves to become the instrument of our undoing? Anyway, that is some of the reason why I said, let everybody get ready to fight this self-inflicted war. We are the one bringing this war to ourselves. This is exactly the truth Asiko Kpabe saw in his time, in his working with Ojukwu. This is some of the rubbish Ojukwu did, with due respect anyway. Then Asiko Kpabe was able to run out of Anambra State. He got to Lagos, he issued a press communique, and then he ran to London. I remember Asiko Kpabe said, this thing happening to us is self-inflicted injury. In the days of ignorance, we agreed he was a saboteur. But with what we have seen today, I'd rather be Asiko Kpabe, I'd rather be Fajuna than to be Nnamdi Kanu, even in 100 lifetime. Why don't you go back and listen to what people say about you? Why can't you be ashamed and for once, as a man or woman of dignity, with honor and pride, say you are who you are and you remain who you are? It's a shame. All of you waiting to change the narratives, we will tell the next generation the truth. Undisputable truth. When Asiko Kpabe saw that misguided criminals are all around Ojukwu and Ojukwu is making mistakes already, he told the world, this is self-inflicted pain. And when it will start, I will see what some of you will do. And God will bear us witness. The world will bear testament to the fact that we cried out. We pointed this truth out to some of you who can stop this evil. And you are thinking, Nkanye bonkanye, Nkanye bonkanye. Mba nkendi awusa aburo nkendi awusa. What a shame. We have taken time to study everything Ojukwu from Ifajuna Akanebiam, and Nahoru, all these supposedly founding fathers of the Nigerian state. And we saw their mistakes. And one of the greatest advantage we have as a people is not to make the same mistake they made. And now we are even getting worse. And most of you are not seeing it. Your son or your husband or your daughter will just come out and be yapping. And this is a matter of a national issue, my dear. These are self-inflicted war. Nobody is threatening Fulani. Nobody is threatening Yoruba. No Biafra person. We are the one threatening ourselves. We will come to your house one by one. We will come to your house. It's just that most of you do not know how prepared we are. You don't. But then my brother cannot be my enemy. You should not be my enemy. We have all been wounded. And this is the time we heal ourselves. There is war ranging ongoing already. And those are the categories of war we are looking at. When you talk about self-inflicted war, there is something you will do. And the moment you do that, it affects every other thing. And then it affects every other thing. The way you behave in your village is not the way we behave. And this is one thing you don't know anything about. And so our people must understand there are different kinds of war ongoing. If you don't know, you don't know. And people are going to fight in different form. Let us go to the last two so you understand what is actually coming up. We look at the fourth one on this series, which is the war of interest. The war of interest. Under the war of interest, you have political power brokers. We have political power brokers. It may interest you to know that some governors in Biafra land are actually aiding and abetting IPOB criminality. This should interest you. But then we will not cast assertion on anybody. We will stand by and let them come out. Let's know. It's not going to be south-south or southeast too. It is going to take all of us. This one. The battle line is drawn even before now. But somehow it may be very difficult for us to communicate this truth to you. But it doesn't bother us because we speak the truth and the truth communicates itself. They have power brokers. Some politicians think the way they support IPOB, then they will have people to vote for them. And then when IPOB is the one who guarantee your position in the leadership team of a people, and then IPOB becomes the kingmaker, the governors maker, the politicians maker. And then they are going to use some of you who are already power brokers to undermine our position. And you think we're going to let that happen? And now I must tell you, every Biafran, go and get your PVC. We cannot make the same mistake. If you are a Biafran, my dear, universal adult suffrage, it is your right to vote. Go and get your PVC. Because all the fake PVC they will print. We now they can know after bargaining, you will not hear him say, and now our terms and conditions haven't been met. We're gonna move on. We're gonna vote for them. We have been delivered and developed. And then after delivering us, sealing us, Benjamin Madubugu, Bright Chimezie, all of them were jumping up and down, carrying Ghana must go of money, coming supposedly from Atiku and P2B. But they were the ones saying no more election, no more election. Is that not where you people poison Chimobioka for? And of course I was poisoned alongside. Is it to shut us down? And so those of you, we are fighting war, power brokers. Some are supporting Nnamdi Kanu. It's just that he's zombie, he's sending out as an unknown gunman. They don't have sense. And of course, to you, you are aiding and abetting criminality. it will get to all of us. That is another war we are fighting. Sometimes we don't even know who to trust. We do not claim that anybody is right or wrong, but we just know that something is not right and we have to make it right. We have the people of interest. Outside the power brokers, we have another group. They will bring their word. They are people of interest. People of interest. What is my position? You have them to fight. I fought them in the DOS. I fought them without your knowledge. We fought people of interest. Their own is just look at what is happening in IPOB at this moment in the absence of their criminal leader Nnamdi Kanu. You see, it is a game of interest. China Sanwo-Olu is using Tony Zulumike and Chike Duzem because those people are bonions. They don't have sense. They are zombie. Look their eye very well. You see how empty they are. Chinasa is the one running the DOS. And if fine boy like or Kanonta like, let them keep quiet. Chinasa will assassinate Nnamdi Kanu the slightest opportunity he will have. You people think he love anybody? That is people of interest. One day you people will know who Chinasa is. The slightest opportunity he have, he will kill Nnamdi Kanu. But you don't know, he's the one commanding you. His name is not Chinasa Sanwo-Olu. And he does not come from Obingwa. And he's not living in Kuwait. He's just a criminal who is a person of interest. And he's playing his game well. And then all of you zombie in IPOB are jumping up and we don't support Kanonta, we support DOS. Can you hear me? These are war of people of interest. What is their interest? Chinasa said what we are doing is a game of throne. Either you get the throne or you die. And then I have told them who owns this throne. But you don't know there is war already. That is why you think it's all about Facebook. And of course they are going to strike. And that will be the beginning of their undoing. And under that same fourth one, you have business merchandise. Do you know there are other nations? Do you know there are other multinational companies who are in the Atlantic Ocean as we speak with different kind of ammunition to sell in the black market? They initiate crisis. Imagine how many billions Nnamdi Kanu has stolen that is going to buy ammunition. Who is selling the ammunition? Is it America or China or Japan? No, he buys it from black market. And most of these people are out there trying to inject confusion into the system. And somewhere along the line, if we fail to see what is coming, we will fall prey for them. They can even give us gun for credit. Just that Nnamdi Kanu is so greedy, so all the money they have contributed for weapon, he is siphoning them in some foreign account. If he has been able to have a real black market dealer to be buying from, IPOB, ESM, unknown gunmen, criminals will not be dying. Because you can't steal a gun to go and defend a righteous nation. You will kill yourself. So one of the reasons they are killing them, IPOB is not reporting, is because you are using a stolen gun to defend a righteous nation. God does not back up people like that. And some of you do not understand why we keep making our voice to be heard. This is ongoing war already that you know nothing about. Let me pause a little bit and see if I can make you see what you are not seeing. There are strategies of war. And the mode of engagement differs. And it is changing constantly on daily basis. At the early beginning, if we want to draw a picture from the American Revolution, or before the American Revolution, in the Dark Age, in the eras of the Babylonians, the Grecians, the Persians, the Tarasitators, and the rest of them, when they come out for combat, for war, they have rule of engagement. 1 million men. In fact, your military capacity is determined by its numerical, its numeric. And so they say David with 10,000 men went to fight the Amalekite, who outnumbered them 1 to 20. And David cried unto the Lord, and so the Lord said, go with 5,000. They were confrontational war. And everybody abide by the rule of engagement. And then until American Revolution, they broke the rule of engagement. And of course, during the Second and the First World War era, Napoleon and Adolf Hitler, for them to be able to oppress almost the world, is because they broke the rule of engagement. And of course, we can talk about the eras of Hiroshima. According to the war principle, Hiroshima is not supposed to be bombed with nuclear weapon. But as we speak today, everybody is afraid of each other. Because we are not talking about ballistic missiles now. I must remind you at this moment, it is not how many military warheads that you have. It's not your AK-47. The world has gone so desperate to the extent that as we speak, they are weaponizing the atmosphere. As we speak, biological warfare can't even stand the next war that will come. And we don't even understand, and we are looking. There are so many conspiracy theories behind the COVID-19 and the rest of them. The world has moved on before now. You wake up one day, then tell you there is Josephina, Katarina, and other, whatever name they call them. Humans are weaponizing the atmosphere already. And then we are here stealing gun to fight ourselves. Because we don't even know what is coming. Sometimes you hear in the world news, climate change, global warming, among others. You hear somewhere in Russia, a fire from heaven burned down more than 1 million acres of land and destroyed everything. And to you, you think it's a disaster from God. These people are running tests on atmosphere weapon. Today, the world is at the throat of each other. And every other nation, tribes across the globe, Homo sapiens of different breed and kind, understand the danger that is coming. And they are working hard to ensure that peradventure, if things get out of control, at least they can survive. But what are we doing? What are we doing? For almost 50 years or more, the only move we have been able to make as a people to safeguard our future. And some people are toiling with us, and you are happy and you want us to behave civilized. I tell you the truth, there is a war going. The only promise we give to you is that the battlefield will be of our own choosing. You will not understand what is there, but we promise you that. But because most of you think it's just a game, we go on to the fifth one, which is the democratic war. When you talk about democratic war, we are talking about the policy makers. We are at war within ourselves. The policy makers. When you look at everything happening around us, sometimes I don't even know who to blame. I don't even know who to blame. We have been fighting individually to achieve a particular aim, which will eventually be useless to us if it is not for the overall interest of everybody. This is war going on. If I open my mouth and begin to express or say some of the things that has happened among us as a people, you see, my brother, somewhere along the line, this issue must be resolved because you are not even ready for it. You make policies on the expense of your people, to the detriment of your people. Those of you who think or thought you can use Nnamdi Kanu for your political game. How market? But each time you're bending the will of the people to achieve a particular aim which benefit only you and your gang. You are fighting war. You are at war with your people already. Under that same category, you have the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries. Just sit back a little bit. And if indeed you know who is Barrister Jofo, and then you will be able to know who is actually the beneficiaries. I weep. I weep for all of you. I weep. And of course, anytime Barrister Jofo, you are ready to stand in a competent court jurisdiction with me, please just send a message on any of the Biafra Human Rights Freedom radio station. I will answer you. These are people of interest. You are sending our minors to go and die, and you people are deceiving yourself. And those of you youth, is it because you are jobless that you think your life has ended? My brother, do not waste your life. Don't waste yourself for nothing, because the time has not come. When the time comes, you will know. People of interest. It's painful. Where are those grown-up men? Where are those grown-up men that were defending the land? Where is Mustafa? Where is Onyibe? Where are those grown-up men? And some of you, I don't want to call your name, because I'm waiting for you to exhibit your stupidity. You take little children, most of which are orphans. You send them to go and kill or attack police so they get gone. And the other one, now that they have killed, you people want to shut the wife down. You want to kidnap the wife so that they cannot tell the world that his husband, you people sent him to arm robber. People of interest. Benjamin Madubugu is there enjoying with his family. Bright Chimezia is there enjoying with his family. China Sangoru and the rest of them are there. And those of you in diaspora, you want to decide our life. Where came more, you know? And then most of you don't know there is war ongoing already. But these are self-inflicted war. And then people say, what is the next way forward? The next way forward is to expose all these criminals. We will personally destroy this Biafra land, and from its ashes, we will build a new nation. A nation we can be proud of. Because if these criminals are not addressed, people will think that is how they make it in Biafra land. It's unfortunate. And then we consider the influencers. The influencers. What do? They influence every decision. They are hiding there on the expense of their people. They initiate war. But their own is that they have a target. They will manipulate everybody until they get what they want. We call them the influencers. And when we fight with them, when we fight in their midst, we inflict injury on our people. The people of Biafra must understand, if we want Biafra to be restored, a holistic nation, a sincere nation, we all have to change our orientation. All of you say, live in Nnamdi Kanu, live in Nnamdi Kanu. One day you people will see the level of damage Nnamdi Kanu have done. Based on the fact that Ojukwu stood on one end alone, took decision on his expense for our people. What he went through, I'm telling you, is not very proud. And if Ojukwu have the privilege to walk on this earth again, he will not associate with most of you. The same way, the people killing in Nnamdi Kanu are the people who is of course, he saved for himself. And then you want to pass us through the same thing? Supposedly you are in Kuwait, you are in abroad, you're setting us up against ourselves. The same way you are planning, we are planning for you. That thing you think you know, we know it. And somebody wrote to me, we have been tracking all your location, we know everything about you, we will come for you. You know, get sense? Don't you have sense? Then that will be the last location you will track. That will be the last location you will track. We know we are in a military situation already. And we are ready for anything you want to do. I and another comrade went to meet Achuzem before he passed on. Not just Achuzem, so many of our veterans. We asked them questions. And I'm happy they were able to give us those information. Achuzem, for instance, why is it you don't talk about Biafra? And then maybe you begin to know the truth behind the Asaba massacre. Go and find out. These are things we are not even proud to say. Shame. And now we are on the same crossroad. Now the Kanu is jumping up and down. They want to take glory. Which glory? Which glory? All of you. It looks to me that IPOB is not all that mighty again. Now you are killing your people. Yes, you have the right to civil disobedience, but not when it encroaches on the right of another person. You are the enemy of your people. Why don't you bring the seat at home on Niger Delta so that thunder will fire you? But you can deceive your people, and they are very emotional, most of them. And they say, when I talk, how many people have IPOB killed? Let us tell ourselves the truth too. Because these are the war ranging. You cannot run from it. Self-inflicted war. Injuring. And now, let us tell you the truth. Biafra Nation Alliance, in conjunction with other pro-Biafran group, under the umbrella of the de facto customary government, we are here on a rescue mission. We can castigate everybody from here till tomorrow. But our greatest joy at this moment is that good men and women have started speaking up. Good men and women have started speaking up, unlike before. And that means our job is being done. Nobody will sell the next generation of Biafra. It doesn't matter your position at this moment. We will fight till the end. We will fight till the finish. But this is the time for you to save the next generation. This is the time for you to have a say in our sea. This is the time for you to partner with moral men on a higher moral ground to save the next generation. There is no shortcut to the freedom we want, we yearn for. There is no shortcut. We must tell ourselves the truth. We are not even organized. We are looking for a country. When IPOB banned me not to enter Anambra again, because not that I did anything, I begin to wonder, how does these people reason? Chike Dozie wrote memo. Judge Onyibe, Onyendu said you cannot enter Anambra State. Thunder fire on her. When you don't know Obalu people are Nyoma people, do you know Obi of Onitsha is a Nyoma man? Do you know that when you talk of Omo, that we have Omo in Obalu, who is answerable to Omo in Okpanam? You think we are daft? And so because of geographical deception by the Nigerian state, you are banning me from entering the land of my ancestors. It gets sense. And I keep quiet and I watch them. And I begin to think, The level Nnamdi Kanu is going to is not from Anambra, and he's issuing me order and a memo not to enter Anambra. One day this man will give order. I said, don't let the Judge Onyibe enter Abo. There's something is wrong here. Today, is he not playing it out? How many are born youth? How many Imo State youth? You know, as we do leave this Biafra land, make all of us get peace. Some of us are not like him. Don't worry. But we are fighting for freedom. You abandoned us already. I kept quiet and I started looking at them. They saw it did not affect me. A week later, they still write memo. Ichike Dozie, a memo writer. Very useless set of human being like that. And Atonyendu has issued an order that Judge Onyibe should not go to any IPOB meeting without taking permission from Ikechukwu Ugwuoha. I never said anything. I'm just looking at the natural freedom. The natural Biafra. And for more than 4 years, you people don't know. If you invite me anywhere, I say, go and tell Ikechukwu Ugwuoha. Ikechukwu Ugwuoha is not dead, he's there. Go and ask him. Criminals everywhere. Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. And he's not fighting for Biafra. Don't bargaining. Let him bargain and come out now. And that is why in every instance he's very fast to blackmail and character assassinate anybody who have issue with him. Let him come out and debate now. Let him come out and debate. We don't lie. We are whiter than white. We are this Njohi. Get on it. Look at what you've turned Biafra agitation to. Okay, it's Igbo agitation. Igbo Biafra. How's the Igbo Biafra kind of choosing Ubu Adi Amama? It's unfortunate. And some people want us to be part of this criminal element. You're happy, rejoicing over your stupidity. I see people who I thought they have sense, writing jargon, writing rubbish. Yeah, they sit at home. Anambra State lose 20 trillion naira. If Anambra was making 20 trillion naira every day, why couldn't we build the second Niger bridge by ourselves? If Anambra was making 20 trillion naira every day, why are we complaining about Nigeria? If Anambra was making internal generated revenue $100 billion every year, why are we complaining? Would they deceive ourselves, or we think we are deceiving other people? Nigerian has expired. It remains the ultimate truth. Nigerian coexisting with all that component nations that are trapped in this contraction, there is need for proper renegotiation. And for us to do that, we need to create the enabling environment, or rather should I say the right atmosphere. That is why we are here. Do not think it does not concern you. You are a Biafran Nigeria, you are a Biafran Biafra. You are a Biafran Igodomigodo, you are a Biafran Agadamigada. Anyone you are, somewhere along the line, you will see. It concerns all of us. The reason why we are making all these things clear is that somewhere along the line, somebody have to stand up. Somebody will have to stand up against this tyranny. And there may be no more time to explain. When this music start playing, there will be no time to explain anything. If you have Biafra at heart, begin to tell your family member to disassociate from IPOB. Because they are killing our youth. Don't deceive yourself. IPOB has concluded his journey. He has nothing more to offer than untimely death for our minors. Whether you like it or not, sooner or later you will understand. And I, Judge Onyibe, is telling you, The next way to go is look for any pro-Biafran group you are in terms with their modus operandi. You can join Biafra Nation Alliance. Look for how to contact the people in charge of the de facto customary government. For once and for all, let us redesign the whole movement. But if you think it's going to be child's play, deceiving ourselves, and so the people of Biafra must understand and begin to work towards the need. Why? We must put an end to this self-inflicted war which we must fight. On the quest to the restoration of Biafra, all these issues must be addressed, which comes alongside with crisis of disagreement. You must get yourself ready, because this is the moment that will certainly place our foot upon the path of advancement or total destruction. The only sure way for us to attain victorious end is to make sure that the battleground must be of our own choosing. That is what we are trying to do here. If we must attain permanent victory, we must make sure that the battleground is of our own choosing. With this mindset, I will advise the people of Biafra to get ready to defend Biafra land in truth and in honesty, or you take the side of the people of interest who are the real traitors. Just look at all the people you are jumping up and, hey, we are saving you, this is our account, ESM money, ESM this. ESM don't have a voice. One day you will know what men went through for the sake of IPOB, and you will understand why the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu opened door for money matter to begin to be discussed. When we are calling on you at this moment to join this movement, it is as simple as trying to make you a part of the team who will sanitize Biafra land as a matter of protocol to deliver a Biafra where the right of all must be respected. Don't think all these things will continue. You see, let me give you an insight. All the pro-Biafran group, they have their men ready, but they don't talk. May I tell you that you have more than 70,000 camps within the Biafran territory, booming with men who are ready to defend Biafra, but you don't hear it. If you know how they are sustained, you will know that there are people who have Biafra at heart, and they are waiting, they are observing. And then IPOB just takes small boys, raise dragon flag to cash on your emotion, so you contribute money. You shout, our men are ready. Our men are ready. We will defend Biafra land. He's defending Biafra land now. Monday don't reach again now. Then come and throw pot of soup away. Come and throw rice away. Come and kill your people. Our men are ready. The Igbo man must move out of sentiment. And for once, let us stop becoming the instrument of our undoing. For once, this thing you are seeing, you have not been able to visage how it's going to end. You are not even seeing it. But when that day comes, we will make sure the battleground will be of our choosing. Now they cannot jumping up and down, just cashing out every mugu he gets on the expense of our minors. I keep using that word, minors. Mundu. 12 years, 17 years. I don't know where you think. We are formidable. We are formidable. Where you formidable go? heartless human beings. Very soon, you will understand what we are telling you. The people of Biafra, this is the time to protect our land. Politicians are bad, good. Pastors are bad, good. Native doctors are bad, good. Everybody is bad, good. So who is good? Only Nnamdi Kanu. It's quite unfortunate anyway. Of course, at this moment our lines are open. I just want you, for as a human being, to understand that there is need for us to get ready to put an end to self-inflicted war, because the damage will be very high. The damage will be high. There is need to checkmate it. There is need for Biafrans to speak up. It is not the way you talk about it, not the way you think about it. Imanka, imanka. Imanka, imanka. Our lines are open at this moment. And of course, you can call in and give us report what is happening in your area. Have they killed our minors again in the name of unknown gunmen? Did you not see the unknown gunmen that the Nigerian Navy finished all of them inside one jeep? IPOB is not telling you. Did you not see the boy they killed who is a commander? The wife want to shout, and then IPOB want to kill the wife so that he won't tell the world what is happening. How many of us will you have to kill to shut us up and cover the heinous crime and atrocity of Nnamdi Kanu and the gangster called DOS? How many? This thing will get to your family one way or the other. Don't worry. It's unfortunate. You can be a Nigerian. You can be Arewa Oduduwa. You can be saboteur like me. You can be whatever. The radio station is for all of us. This is time for us to reason together. And of course, everybody understand. Maybe we call the union off. Maybe we renegotiate the union. Maybe there is need for constitutional amendment, devolution of power, or any other big grammar associated to it. But we want a free and fair life. We want to live like human. We want our right to be respected. We want to be, in practical terms, the author of our own destiny. Is this too much to ask for? And so you can call in, have your say in our say. The number to reach out to this platform is our WhatsApp studio line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642 is our WhatsApp line. I repeat again, 070-815-45642. And of course, our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. And of course, if you cannot be able to access the studio line, you are free to call through my social media platforms. And of course, the ones you have access to, if you have access. It could be Facebook Messenger, it could be WhatsApp. If you have access to it, you are free to call in. And I will encourage you, those of you in Anambra, our relay station FM is up and running. Though not the whole of Anambra, but men and women of good are working very hard to make sure that they install it on those houses. But from around Ogbaru and the rest of it, you can get the FM. Ogbaru, Tere, Onitsha, Mpo, and its environment. Those of you in Delta, from Nzene, Ogbausa, all the way to Head Bridge, at least within 78 kilometer radius, you can get it. And those of you in River State, within the axis of Liusu, about 78-kilometer radius around that area, you can get Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station. It's on 100.5 FM. 100.5 FM. You can get us on Simple Radio. You can get us on app. And of course, you can get us on satellite. You must continue to make effort to be part of the team who are sincerely fighting to put an end to this menace, to put an end to the criminalization of Biafra. It is time to redefine this agitation. It is time to tell ourselves the truth. It is time to put an end to Nandekano criminality in the name of agitation. You may not like it the way it is going at this moment, but somewhere along you will understand, you will be a testament to the fact that we are saving the next generation from armed robbers.
Respect to the Most High. Yeah. Biafra, the rising sun. Now you hear me now?
Everywhere in the world, Biafrans are fighting for freedom. Freedom, yeah. Biafrans, we know what we want. Biafrans, we know what we need. All we want is Biafra. Biafra. All we need is Biafra. Biafra. Our leader have tell us the truth. Now we know who we are. Osaflan is killing Biafra. Biafra. Yoruba is looking for 10%.
Ola on the line, can you hear me?
I hear you.
Good evening from
I hope
here.
good evening, George Onyibe. I'm greeting you.
Thank you very much.
We always hearing your broadcast, but what I need to chip in for your topic is one thing. When I listen for broadcasts where you did under my Monte Carlo, why I will explain myself. I'm on those states, especially Akure. So your voice always here for the whole world.
You are from where, please?
I'm from Imo State.
Okay, go ahead.
Personally, where Governor De Omuma, yeah, that they are come from. So what I need to tell you is, this broadcast is reaching anywhere. Past only Nigeria. But what I need to encourage you is, Biafra have already woken up. We are insulting Biafra much as they are insulting us. You need to broadcast and talk about their issue. Don't talk about Biafra. We have already opened our eyes. Don't talk about Biafra. Don't against about Biafra. All the whole world listens to you.
Can you tell me?
So what I need to tell you is,
hold on.
We men have already wise.
If you don't
we
want
know
to talk,
our leader. I know if you only lesson you.
I have cut you off now. I have cut you off. It's part of the zombie. So you are not qualified to talk on this platform. Nandekano and IPOB are killing Igbo people, and you are saying you have seen Biafra. Where is Biafra? Igbo Biafra, which Biafra? You know me. You don't know me. It's a shame. The greatest war we are going to fight is what we are fighting now. He said that will be genuine. We are real. Or we all go inside. And we will make sure we escort you inside. You are in Ondo. Come to, why is IPOB not putting a seat at home in Akure? When you call, you have to listen. If you cannot listen to my instruction, I cut you off. This is how you people deceive yourself. Yes, caller on the line.
Hello, good evening, Mazi George Onyibe.
Good evening, my brother. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chibozo. I'm calling from Obosi.
Go ahead, my brother.
Please, there's something important I want to contribute.
Of course, have your say in my say. It is simple. When I stop you, you stop. If you ask question, I answer. And when I ask you, you answer. Go ahead, please.
Okay. I listened to your broadcast.
Sorry. Are you a member of IPOB?
I'm not a member of IPOB, but I am a Biafra.
Okay, go ahead.
I listened to your broadcast this evening, and you were talking of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB. What I want to contribute is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB, even if they have got it wrong, I believe it's high time that each and every one of us will ignore whatever they have done, then and do the right thing for us to get what we are looking for. Because if we continue talking of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB, we will still be here 100 years coming, and Nigeria will be treating us as if we are animals.
Okay.
So if you people get the right direction on how to get Biafra things, you people do not believe in what Nnamdi Kanu is doing. So you people should focus on that direction and leave Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB.
Hold on. You are not a member of IPOB, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So why are you fighting for IPOB? You saw Nnamdi Kanu castigate Raphael Owazirike for more than 10 years. Were you aware?
I'm aware.
So why are you stopping us now? I have not even castigated them up to 7 months. You are stopping me. Doesn't Nnamdi Kanu have the right to castigate Raphael Owazirike? My brother, let us tell ourselves the truth. Nigeria is not our problem. Let us tell ourselves the truth. Nnamdi Kanu for almost 10 years have been insulting everybody, cursing everybody. I now told you now, even as the highest serving principal officer of IPOB, they banned me from entering Anambra. And you say, no, don't talk it. We have a solution. Biafra nation is doing what they have to do. De facto government is doing what they have to do. And then we have to expose this evil. Are you listening via FM in Anambra, where you are calling from?
Of course.
Of course. But did you hear us kill anybody that we put transmitter? Did you hear us blackmail anybody? My brother, we will not leave Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is a criminal. He must confess. Where is Obase? Do you know Obase?
I don't know.
He is the head of Lion Squad, who lead them to rape one Ebonyi State woman and the daughter. They live in Anambra. Have you heard about that story?
No.
Do you know who they call Ondune Soku?
No, I don't even know.
Now find out all these people. Ojuku, Chijoke, Otaji. They wanted to bury them alive. Under Obase, Lion Squad, as directed by China Sanwuru, said it's Onyibe that sent them. Do you know who they call it? Our forces. So you don't even know. I pray those of them in Anambra who have gone through this hair will come on this radio and begin to tell you what is happening. And then they are still doing it. They threaten Ogidi youth. Did you hear they threaten Ogidi youth?
I heard it on.
Do they have the IPOB have right to make all of us to sit at home mandatory, compulsorily?
See, Mazi Onyibe.
No. Let's debate now. Do they have that right?
Of course, they do not.
But yet they are doing it.
What I'm trying to ship in.
Your what do you call it? Your suggestion is noted. Thank you very much.
Okay, can I say one thing more?
Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm suggesting, if at all it will be possible, since we have many pro Biafra groups, it's better that all these pro Biafra groups will channel their agitations to Nigeria.
Thank you very
Then
much.
on so doing, Nigeria will be confused and give us what we want, because
Yes,
what we are asking for is only referendum.
Yes, you are correct, and we are doing that.
If we are fighting ourselves, we will
My
still be at one point.
brother, you have made your point. You have made your point. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The people who call in must understand. You cannot influence my decision because you don't even know the truth. And when you know the truth, it will break the camel's back. Nnamdi Kanu remain the greatest hindrance to Biafra restoration. Nnamdi Kanu problem is worse than Nigeria. And all of you are there, hey, holy, Nnamdi Kanu, you don't know the demon you are seeing. We didn't say then, say. My happiness is that we are the guy calling from Akure or wherever you are calling from. Were you there when people like John Paul Maduabuchi and our sister were going the whole of the West in support with me to open family in the whole of those West? Were you there? Do we risk our life? The word Biafra is not the word is not Biafra. What do you know? What do you know? Let me tell you, for those of you listening, if you like, deny. My happiness is that all of you are denying IPOB now. Shame not they let on us say on be IPOB member. Make I finish on our way on our day. Everybody is denying IPOB now. It's not very, they are not very proud of themselves again. We will keep exposing Nnamdi Kanu atrocity because you people don't know even the war China Sanwo-Olu is trying to bring on ground. We shall see. My daddy in the Lord, sorry for keeping you online. Can you hear me, sir?
It's okay, my reverend, but I want to tell you something today. I want to make this clear today to you. That when I call you reverend, I don't think you really, I want you to do a homework. Don't take you from the surface level of the Nigerian church's reverend. I'm talking about the definition of a reverend. That has to do with respect, a characteristics of gratitude, respect, something that is represents. And the reason I'm bringing this up again, regardless the fun we had with Diopa, which is Diopa actually, a tough chicken, this very reverend, I want you to take do a homework on it and see even this definition and then look for the synonym. There's nothing comparable to the definition, because one clear word is respect, worthy of gratitude, worthy of respect. As such, whatever comes out of your mouth here, it's supposed to go out. Any riffraff coming here to suggest something for you, it's a touch away. Let them go and listen, because they don't have ears. And this is where I get upset. That you will be here trying to help our people. And somebody will call and you're calling him brother. They are not brothers. Christ is an Onyibe. Those who listen to me and who do my will are my brothers. And my mothers and my brothers and sisters. That's what it is. Just because people speak Igbo or they're coming out from somewhere. You don't even know them. They don't know what is being done here. They don't know. They are not IPOB. You are discussing issues that pertain to you. And they are here giving you orders and causing you to be angry. I don't think it's a way to go. I have a different route to that. But anyway, I'm going to let you be who you are. But remember, you are our leader. You are my personal reverend, and that's why you are leading Biafran Nations Alliance. It wasn't hijacked. We nominated you to lead us, to be the global administrator, particularly to oversee what we're doing. And if you are not a man of respect, of integrity, I don't think I will ever suggest that. So that's just what I want to say with that. Then the other one is the appeal that I've made to you. I think you may think that it's a joke. The appeal is for you to bring in this information segment by segment so we can talk about it, because there's so many things you have said here tonight. And so I'm going to try to cover a few of them. But before I move on, I must introduce myself to Biafrans. So this is Obidio Bienu. Obidio Bienu is from Oba. Oba is in Onitsha province. I'm not hidden. I have not hidden first, because what we're doing here is a just cause. It's a just cause. And we came out with our real persons, our true selves, to make these arguments that we deserve to be free. I heard when you were talking about China Samoru, which is a ghost name. Nobody knows who he is. I hope that people who knows him will identify him as appropriate, because the threat and what that guy is doing in Biafra land now, somebody need to let him know that he does not have such power. Unfortunately, they are giving orders to hooligans and idiots who doesn't understand it. That's the reason why somebody called you from Ondo to tell you don't talk about Biafra. You know, I can understand that. But then, using this moment to reach out to this brother, the PG of Ogidi, that I thought he was reasonable enough to mobilize his men in Ogidi, and came out again the next day to recant what he says. Brother, if you are listening, or somebody that knows you is listening, I listened to you. You said a lot of things, but some of those things I can tell that you said it somehow. It wasn't really standing on a solid rock. I will advise you, brother, the apology you are making to the criminals is not accepted in any form. You took the first decision, which is a good decision. I don't know who may have called you, or maybe these iPunks has called your phone and everything and threatened you. Then you came out to apologize. But you said something as you were making your comment that you need to know how you can help in this struggle, because we are all Biafrans, and I give it to you. Therefore, I'm calling on you. If somebody that knows you should direct you to this platform, so that you can, if Ogidi is not getting radio, this information, you guys need to do something to make sure that Ogidi people listens, so you can understand that issue of Biafra is everybody's participation, just like you identified. It's not something somebody is going to run you over. Now, please do not be cowed to recant what you said, because it appears that you don't even know why you are sitting at home. You don't know. It's not to get Biafra. They are forcing you to sit at home because they are trying to force you to go and do what do they call it? They want you to be in solidarity with somebody who is bringing disaster to the land, and that's not acceptable. So I don't know who may have advised you, but what I can tell you this afternoon, my brother, how you can participate is to call this platform. Onyibe has his number. Call him and ask him, what are we doing? If you need to talk to me, yes, I'm available. But you can adequately talk to Onyibe. He will guide you on what you need to do to support the restoration of Biafra. We know, we acknowledge that we are suffering in Nigeria. But what we are seeing in our land today is not acceptable. And that's not the way to go to Biafra. That we cannot do that. We cannot cow people. We cannot intimidate people to submission when you are robbing the people you are doing freedom fight with. When you are stealing, when you are blackmailing everybody, when you are setting us back. You can do that because they can arrest today or the whatever they call it is because it's two ways. It's either he was arrested because of his selfishness and trying to go get money so that nobody knows in the family, or this is just another drama being played with the Nigerian government so that it will seem like he's doing something. So we are watching at the event. We are not talking that much on it. Because we don't know what he's doing. I believe, my Reverend, you touched on these things. Yes, Zuzusia. Oh, Zuzusia, Biafra, Blue Biafra. Cause of Buzia, any. I cannot afford who can Biafra be there. Now, for people who are listening, ask a question. It's a simple question. Why would this man go to Kenya? And none of his people, none of his higher echelon of the family knows where he went to. Dr. Kaido broke it down yesterday, and I know Dr. Kaido speaks sometimes your English, maybe they don't quite understand you, but it was brought to this platform yesterday when you pointed out the reason. You cannot put it out there for people to consider. Why would this man who said he's an excellency, he's an author, he's a savior of the whole Biafrans, why would he be picked up like a chicken? Broiler, not even a tough chicken. The real chicken would have given up a fight there before they picked him up. Why would this guy be picked up like a chicken? Okay. Now, most of you must have seen the voice that is circulating, calling Canon Takano Sabotua now, and he sold his brother this and that. And I know some of you may be in doubt now because that's the truth. That's always their strategy. They implant very wicked information to put people in confusion. I know some of you now are tagging Canon Takano and Sabotua. And everything, according to the idiot that was backing behind the voice, is from Brazil. The last time I checked, that idiot, Nachi, whatever he calls himself, I don't know if it's his true name, is not making his monthly payment to IPOB. But he's in DOS. He's in DOS. As a matter of fact, I suspended him on the platform where we are because he's not being sincere with what we're doing. He was removed from my platform where we have other coordinators because he doesn't listen. He doesn't follow instructions. But Nzrunike and Chike Doziem quickly recruited him and made him South American, what is it called? What do they call it again? Representative. And now he's wide-mouthly ranting and setting up confusion. More confusion. Of course, they are confused, and the Khan is completely confused. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He's confused. He doesn't know how to sell Biafrans. And we are holding him because he cannot come out for 8 years and drive us around, collect all the monies that we gave him. And now he's threatening everybody with a stolen gun. All the money we gave him, he needs to account for it. So that's what I want to say, because now that idiot in Brazil that doesn't pay his monthly dues is now shouting. As a matter of fact, he's imitating Ojuku's voice. Onye na-amara ọnụ ebe ọ nọ na-asị nna na Biafra amara okpokpo. Imagine now they we summoned the DOS meeting and the blah 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 blah. You summoning Canon is Canon has never been a principal servant. We know he's related to Nnamdi Kanu, and you have to give it to him because Nnamdi Kanu is the one that made that choice to be handling the family with his siblings. He has a sibling, the one that is married by the so-called Biafran prophet. And the other ones, the one in Nigeria, they are the ones that are running the IPOB. We noticed that and we say, no, this cannot continue. And so I don't understand why this clown in Brazil is coming out and backing and making voice to say that the Kanu is a saboteur. Now, when Nnamdi Kanu left to Kenya, he never told you guys that are so-called US higher echelon. He never told you, which is one of our fights, probably my fight in DOS, that he should not be going to places without telling people. He cannot be having meeting without having his deputy or anybody. Because he goes out to the meeting, he doesn't get Uchemefo involved, he doesn't get even the memo writer Chike doesn't involve, nobody. Or say, I come on. Because hey, Diego say I codebe. And it's used for years. Now, according to him, he had a problem. Nobody knows. And then he called his brother. You never ask yourself, did he tell his brother not to tell anybody what is happening? Because he's always secretive. We all swore allegiance to restore Biafra and tell one another the truth, but he never tells you the truth. Nobody knows if he has told the brother, don't tell nobody. Until there was real danger. They now saw that there is real danger. Hopefully it's real danger, or maybe they are trying to manipulate their way out of all this mess and all the people that have died for Biafra. So, consider we're up here. So we are watching because people have paid the ultimate price. People have thought that Nnamdi Kanu is a truthful man and have given their best to fight this freedom. And here we are today. I call Jane. And somebody will come here to tell you don't talk about him. This is just the beginning. We're just warming up anyway. We haven't said nothing. And you guys are jittery. This message will continue. And I also use the same moment if you think that you need help for your people to hear this good news, because this man cannot get away. I know that people are living in darkness. A lot of you are living in darkness. You don't know what is being said here. Now you are being intimidated for sit at home every Monday. Compulsory is an order and a law. My Reverend,
thank you.
I
very
think
much.
After your homework today, you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I just want to use this opportunity to thank all well-meaning Biafrans and all lovers of freedom. I must start acknowledge Chief Rafu Wazirike must do, because when I on isi na ọ sị ya pụtakwụrụ si na-achọ Biafra. He is the one that reactivated all these things. So we will honor and give respect to whom respect is due. Elijah Saredakobo, a big old shout out from here, my sister Ada Ritanibogo, and the host of other participants and primary servants. Biafra, de facto government of Biafra, is standing. We're still asking for volunteers to join so that we can put heads together and pull ourselves out of this mess. It's not by macho. It's not by jumping up and down. It's not by setting people's properties ablaze. All you are doing is creating generational enemies. So people need to volunteer themselves for this job. It's not easy. We will continue because we are already into it. So there's no going back. If you're a Biafran, I urge you to adapt three standards. One is don't be weary. That means remain steadfast in all that you're doing. Remain truthful. Tell your brother the truth. Stop lying up and down because it makes things difficult. And more importantly, we must humble ourselves. God is watching. He knows we overdue for this freedom. He is the one that started all these things. But we must do these three things in order for us to go into our land. My Reverend, I thank you so much for your steadfastness, your resilience, and your truthfulness. Continue. God will bless you and your family. God will bless all Biafrans, and God will bless all lovers of freedom. All hail Biafra.
Almost hail Biafra. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, we will continue to see the truth. We understand perfectly well how the people of Biafra feel. We understand. And maybe tomorrow we look into categories of Biafra. And then you should be able to find your foot and understand the position where you are. Maybe it will help you to begin to appreciate the enormous sacrifice that is being made on this platform to liberate the people of Biafra from mental slavery. You will not understand. And of course, we are not in a hurry. You were all here. We were all here for almost 10 years. Nnamdi Kanu keep calling out Chief Raphael Owazirike. Hotelier, he say thief, he say this, he say that, he say this. Just Raphael Owazirike. None of you stopped him. Then maybe it was moral for him to do that. And now it is his own time. And let's believe that tomorrow it may be my own turn. And then if I be found guilty, I always say, God, He knows what to do. But of course, we stand on the path of truth. We'll defend it to the end. Everything we bled for, everything we fought for, everything that we are trying to restore is being destroyed before our very eyes. And then somebody somewhere who don't even know anything is coming to tell you how you should behave, how you should talk, what you should talk. I saw a post by one of our brother made today, and he took a picture of somebody who wore dude shirt and turned his back. And if you've seen that post, it makes a lot of sense. Somebody is in South Africa putting on, I am a dude, I am a unknown gunman, and then you that is on ground will go and do the same thing because you think they are formidable. Even Akure or Ondo State or wherever you were calling from, I bet you can't even talk about Biafra. You can't. As bad as it can be. But let it be on clear note. Our audience, first of all, is the people of Biafra. With the intention that we are all used to everything we are saying. And our people cannot afford to begin to make the same mistake. Inyasa kalimi yine enchabayenya. Inyasa kalimi enchabayenya. And then how is it that those of us on ground here don't even know the truth? And then I'm preaching to those of you hundreds and thousands of kilometers away from here. It is stage by stage. The people who know the truth already. And of course, they are making adjustments. But we are the one that is inflicting ourselves, and as such, we must stop it. And I repeat what I said before. A lot of evil has been committed under the pretense of being righteous and holy. Who is deceiving who here? Who is deceiving who? All our terms and conditions having been met, we will move on to remove the sit-at-home order and go and vote. And this is barely how many years? You're still being rigmarole on the same platform. No election in Anambra if they don't release our leader. Is that the way they want to and deliver and document us? The reason we do not talk about much, or I do not talk about much about the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu supposedly, is because we are still monitoring. Something is not right somewhere. But nobody will sell the next generation of Biafra. Nobody. Not under our watch. And honestly, we may not be perfect. And we don't even claim to be. But to the best of our ability, we will continue fighting for the overall interest of Biafran people. Genuine freedom fighters came out. All of them with the whole of their heart. And one another, they are being destroyed by one man. And we keep quiet. You see, I begin to wonder, when is somebody going to come up and say, where is Mazimefo? Or Mazimefo should have been thrown away just like that? If you are truly sincere, when Nnamdi Kanu was handicapped, Mazimefo fought as if he's a shareholder in the company IPOB. He fought doggedly. I am sitting on the mic. I know the pains. I know the challenge. I know the sacrifice here. And I would understand perfectly well how Mazimefo felt all those years. And some news aunts were even saying there, hey, don't sleep, you don't sleep. Do you know what it takes to be here? And then, all of a sudden, Nnamdi Kanu came up and tell you he sold Radio Biafra, and then somewhere along the line we should not say it because the world is listening. The person does not have sense at all. Call on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Call on WhatsApp. And of course, that is a network issue. Well, let's see if we can get it. And somebody said, don't talk about it. I have weighed the conscience of our people. I've interacted, and some of you that yes, we hold you in high esteem. And your resolves are uncalled for, very wicked. When we begin to outlive our youthfulness in an agitation platform, but of course I understand most of you don't even know what is happening. Many of you don't know, but we will make you know. Call on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mavi Onyibe.
My Palomo brother. Go ahead, please. Good evening from here.
Okay, bro. Good evening. I thank you for you come again with another strength. I greet all Biafrans all over the whole world. I just want to answer that guy who said he's from Omuma, and I hope he liked what happened to Omuma in those days, the way Omuma hope he's not the one, he's not one of the people causing those problems because I think Hope Uzodinma is from Omuma too. So I don't know. I don't know if he's the enemy of Hope Uzodinma that come to call this time because I know nobody in Omuma like what happened to Omuma because Omuma today people don't go to market. They don't go to market as they used to go before. The people are going to market there now and they're having afraid. So, and if such a person that from Omuma calling, saying those things, he's lying and he doesn't even tell us his name. So what I'm saying now is that if he loves what is going on to Biafra land, he should wait and expect more of them because more of them is going to come. I'm sorry that we have people at home. They are at home there, but I mean one day we are going to go back to our land. So when we go back to our land, anyhow they spoil it rich, we stay. If they don't spoil our rich, we go and stay in Andaman's country, Andaman's how they call it, state also. So my own advice, even I am calling everybody, even this Obunike boys, I don't know, Obrike you that make demonstration after they come back to talk another thing again, It's time we have to wait for threat, and it's not everybody that has this mind to stand for threat. But I know that land, that country they're saying is a very strong country in Igbo land. It's a very strong it's a very strong place. So, and if one person, maybe the spokesman have come and apologized to IPOP so they will not kill him, just like the way Mbaka and all those people that is afraid of ESN to come and attack them. It's not because they're not spoiling something in our own environment. Any lie you cover in Igbo land, that lie must come to you. He must come to you. And mind you, if you're killing people and you're proud you're killing people, you will never remain in this earth forever. One day you will die. So one day you will die. So if people is talking and you say you're going to take their life, hey, don't worry. And any day, you remember that any day you kill human being, you kill your own soul as well. You kill your own human being as well. So be prepared enough. These people that are supporting this team, they should prepare enough to have this. Unless people is going to wake up now and say, no, we don't want such a thing in our land anymore. Because if we want to agitate for anything, we have to agitate according to the law. We have to go out to the United Nations. They are the people that can give all this Biafra. All this thing that is going on in our land now, nobody is knowing about it. Okay, even Nnamdi Kanu, they are arrested. No word is talking about it. But I know just a journalist. Because of the journalist, social media journalist, they take because of him and give some country and give one country sanction. The country name is Belarusia. The president diverted and somebody that is going to another place, he diverted the plane, and because he diverted that plane, this country was sanctioned to the European Union and sanctioned to America as well. So now they have seen that the Nigerian government, they are there watching Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian government is collecting information, from Nnamdi Kanu, is collecting evidence from Nnamdi Kanu. And I'm calling my brothers around, look, listen, that Nigerian government is trying to set Nnamdi Kanu up. You people don't have this idea. You should stop Nnamdi Kanu to go to some of interviews going. They said no, that we are going, we are far, we have gone far. Which far are you? Which far? What is that thing that's signed and sealed and delivered? What is that thing? Don't you ask yourself question? I don't know how people that is in abroad, people used to somebody one person have to wash their brain. I'm in abroad, but I don't have my brain washed. Somebody will come and tell you that they have three ways to restore Biafra, which your phone or two, and the him three. We know one. The zombie we know one, and you think that this is how you should restore your country at this century. Where the world doesn't want to even hear that somebody is carrying gun. You think that when they fight, they have to come and give you Biafra when they carry gun. Go and check out the history of Tigray. Tigray, they have been fighting for more than 25 years now, if I'm not mistaken, if it's no more than. And we want to experience such thing that is happening to the Tigray to happen to our own people that love life, that know the importance of human being. Mando. We are trying to destroy Mando, the beauty of life. You are trying to destroy it, and you're saying, yes, go. But anything that you sow in this world, you will reap it. If you are sowing a good seed, you will reap a good seed. If you are sowing a bad one, you should wait to reap this bad one you are sowing. I know. I don't blame all these IPOPs where they are. I don't blame them so much because I know that somebody are putting word into their mind, and this word is turning every day in their head. But you should try to understand that it's a word that somebody used to hold you and tell you something, and it's the same word that somebody is going to use to lose you in what you are. Ask yourself a question. In this struggle, in all this thing we are going far, where do we have our office? Where is the office of IPOP all over the whole world? Tell me where is there. Tell me where IPOP as an organization, as a movement, where we have even putting our pin inside in Igbo land. And people is here thinking that when we get this Biafra, that everything will be fine. And they are telling you that there's somebody that trying to bring Biafra for you, accuse them of being saboteur. And those people are nowhere to be found today. Ask yourself questions. Are those people are they human beings? What about 3,000 Biafrans that been jailed for over how many years now? Do you know how many Biafrans we have lost from 1999 to this time? If you don't know, we have lost more than 50,000 Biafrans. If you don't know, we have lost more than 50,000 Biafrans from 1999 to this time. And now we are telling you that we want to go in the process which every other people go to get their own independence. Because we should not wait. We're not waiting for Nigeria to give us our independence. We should all to put hands together. Whether you are anything you are IPOP, you have to come down. You have to bring yourself down. You are Maxop, you have to bring yourself down. Anything you are, you have to bring yourself down. And we have to come to one table and dialogue and make a man. Lead to Biafran de facto government that everybody is allowed to come inside this government. And our people is there saying that you people are gossiping. What kind of gossip? Or you are jealous? What kind of jealous? I asked them, did anybody pay your house rent from IPOP? He said no. So what do I have to jealous over you because you're an IPOP or because of Nnamdi Kanu? I spend my money for Nnamdi Kanu. I put my money in bringing him here in Italy. I put my own money. All these people that are speaking this thing, maybe they never see him once. So we should try to know that this radio is not to castigate Nnamdi Kanu. And mind you, if you're fighting anything political, or if you are working as a political institution or whatever you are, you must ready for criticism. You must ready for criticism, because the more people criticize you, the more you correct yourself, the more you go more forward. But when people tell you you're not doing something good, you think that you say those people, they are saboteurs, they are idiots, they are this, they are that. I'm asking you people, For 10 years, we have been calling people idiot and saboteur. What have those things changed in our life? What has it added to what we are doing? It just damage for me. I saw it as things that contribute more damage to our struggling. My own annoyance is that with effort and with the power every of us was putting in IPOP, that is a level where we're supposed to be at this time. That is a level where we're supposed to be for this Biafra, because everybody come out with his own mind. So now people is here walk in another direction, and some people is here misunderstanding it. No, come on, my people, wake up. Wake up. It's people, children that are dying. It's people that are killing, they're cutting their heads and putting them on table. Do we want to live like this in our land? If you people want to live like that, let's live like that. But me, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I cannot come a country where I'm not sure I will live. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to say that. But all I promise myself, any people that is in support of all these things, they should support. They should stop. They should stop at this time. Because if you don't stop, Nigerian government, they are following you people one by one. Yes, they are following them one by one. I know this one. Even the people that is balancing to talk to journalists, to BBC, they should balance enough, talk enough. Okay? Talk enough. And when the time comes, you ask me to come and close my shop or to leave what I'm doing to come and do demonstration for you. My brother, we should early avoid a problem before it will be on our head. And we should never try to compare ourselves with other people. We should not try to compare ourselves with other people, with other groups. We should be whom we are. We are Igbo people, we love women, we are peaceful. This is our nature. We should be like our nature. We should not imitate from people. We should not go and make friends with Ambazonia criminal person that is there, that you know that the people is about to throw him out, and you go and make a friend with him. He tell you to carry gun and come and give your brothers. What does that mean? That means freedom? This is not freedom for me. So I know that God of Igbo land will never allow such a freedom to come to us. And most of all that is saying that if Nnamdi Kanu would not give all this Biafra, let Biafra not to come. This is your love for Biafra for you. But my own love for Biafra is not like this. My own love for Biafra is let Biafra come from any mix. Then when it comes, if we don't live inside, if we want to kill ourselves too, we continue killing ourselves. So, Mr. George, I stop here. I condemn with my heart, with my life, what is going on right now in Igbo land. I don't support it. I don't support violence. I support peace. I support negotiation. This is what I support. Mazi, let me free you and let other people make their contribution. May God bless you. And those are brothers who is in Europe here, in Italy. Bro, I'm inviting you. Everybody is my brother. I don't have enemy. You should come to Rocks and become a member of this movement and bring your own idea. We are co-workers. We don't have boss. If you know your own idea, you bring. We report the idea. We take the idea. If it's a good idea, we move on because we want to move on. We don't want to stay one place. We don't want to be somebody who come and control, command and control. No, this is not the nature of Igbo people. I used to tell people, if you want to rule people, if you want to rule a group of people, you have to know the kind of people you want to rule. Then give them their own tradition and their own way of living. So we Igbo, we love life, we're democratic, and we speak our mind anytime, anywhere. This is whom we are. Thank you, Master George. God bless you, and God bless Biafrans all over the whole world. God bless you.
Thank you very much, my brother. Always on point. The people of Biafra must understand it must take all of us to free all of us. And so if you think this is a time or a period where we will be deceiving ourselves, you are lying. You are lying. And of course, at this moment, I am joined by our brother, Mbadike. Can you hear me, sir?
Onyibe, I can hear you.
Good evening from here.
To you from city of New York. Okay, and greetings to my fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. My name is Izuchukwu Okole. I am Umudemu Nnewi, the mobilization administrator for Americans, Caribbean, North America, and South America. You have said it all, but you know, people start calling and asking questions. Automatically, the message is getting in there. You know, just when it hurts them, you pepper them, they will come out to say one thing. You know, they're just letting their conscience out. If it's the message is getting in, it's getting in. But you know, as I always said, our people like to live in denial. I know when we started this struggle, we have a slogan that says whiter than white and whiter than snow. If you know what I did, come out and say it. I did wrong. Come out and say it. If you know offend us, there's no forgiveness in our you know rules. You know, if you do bad, we shred you. So I don't know why our people have forgotten all these slogans. You know, but that tells you how serious people are in this agitation. But all I want to tell our people is to stop living in denial. When you continue living in denials, one day you will miss something that will take your life on the road. Because as you see how our place is like a jungle now. So if you're saying unknown government, ESN don't even know if you're in IPOB. Unknown government don't even know if you're in IPOB or Biafra Nation. Always have this in mind. You can stay in your small cubicle and say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, you're gonna march on the street. And when you're on the street, if eventually something happens, if you're telling them you're an IPOB, they don't want to listen to you. You're there. That's why when people come on the social media, come on the platform of Biafra Nation, you see a lot of people will say, hey, we know your location. We mark you, we're gonna kill you. You that wanted to kill somebody, how you guarantee your own life that if you're coming out from your house the next day, you're not gonna die? So sometimes it's good for us to think what we say before we say it. Don't be sentimental. If you become sentimental in freedom fighting, you're gonna kill yourself. Like I always say when I come on this platform, in America here, they told you America first before anybody that is leading it. If you don't love your nation and love your leader, you're not going to get to live in that nation that you're fighting for because you never have love for that nation. Mas, you know, as you guys that are reverend and pastors always say, it's not good for long sermons in the, you know, Sunday evening service. I will just go straight to tell our people that if you want to join Biafran Nation Alliance, which is part of Biafran de facto government within Americans and Caribbeans, you can always call this number and we'll be able to work with you. It's 917-346-5419. 917-346-5419. This number is for people who want to make Biafran Nation and Biafran land secured and get safety for our people. It's not a question and answer line. So if you're calling this number for question and answer line, don't bother yourself calling it. And the other, as the events have unfolded now, a lot of people are calling me running hectare because they apply for asylum, but they can't get it again under IPOB because it's a big mess everywhere running. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What's the next step to follow? But when we're telling them initially, when we was excommunicated from this struggle, that we're no more part of it, especially in New York here, a lot of people was laughing. Hey, we're part of the money, we collected money, we did this. But most of those people are coming through the back door to find out exactly what is going on in the, you know, in the Biafran Nation Alliance. All I always tell them, you have to come in and join the family. You don't need to take an oath. You're just gonna be sincere to yourself then you come in. All we are fighting here is to restore Biafra. We're not going to be moving forward all of a sudden. We're going backwards. So, my people, for all the things that we're going, we need to have more relay station in Biafra land. If you want to help in putting relay station anywhere you come from, you can always call the same number that I give up here, 917-346-5419. Or you can go to our website. It's BiafranNationAlliance.com. BiafranNationsAlliance.com. You can make your donation there and send in the receipt of your payment through that website. Then we'll be able to work with for relay station in your localities. Or you can go to our website on Biafra Foundation, BiafraNationInc.org. This is where you can make a charitable donation that is tax deductible if you're living in America. You can go to BiafraFoundationInc.org and make your donation there, and you'll be able to get your taxable form at the end of the year. Or if you are following Biafran de facto government, you can go to their website as well. It's at Biafra Foundation, BiafraGov.org. BiafraGov.org. That's where you see update about de facto government of Biafra. And if any other thing, we are here to help. And you want to send an email, you can go to bia67foundation@gmail.com. That's the email address. Or biafrannation@gmail.com. All these email addresses where you can communicate with us. But dear Onyibe, I'm going to leave you here for now. Tell our people, always look after yourself. Make sure you know what is going on in your communities, because it's people from your community that will bring intruders to come and destroy your community. Know where they live, know the family where they come from, because all these people have a question to answer at the right time. But I'll keep you here for now, and thank you, and keep it going. We go nowhere.
We go nowhere.
All must help Biafra at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazen Badike. And of course, if you want to understand our message, it's your choice. If you want to sentimentally cover the truth, it's your choice. But we have made our stand very bold. We are not negotiating this ground. Let's just look at it. A call was made and people answered. And promise was made to these people. And so everybody shielded their sword. Everybody came home because it was time to go home. And then all of a sudden, the same system that has vowed to protect you, the same system that have vowed to defend your interest, all of a sudden change from its original decision. And then because one Nnamdi Kanu is involved, we should lower our greed. That will not happen. That is where most of you are finding it difficult. Clifford Iluanya, saboteur. One man, Nnamdi Kanu. Mazu Choka for me for saboteur. One man, Nnamdi Kanu. Reta Nebogo. Saboteur. One man, Nnamdi Kanu. George Onyibe. Saboteur. One man, Nnamdi Kanu. My brother, we never even talk. We never talk. We just understand activities of Nnamdi Kanu must be reviewed. And the people of Biafra must understand. We have done enough damage to ourselves by not saying what we ought to say. In most cases, by not doing what we are supposed to do. But all this having been said, what is at stake is at stake. And for us to emancipate totally the people of Biafra, there are certain attributes that we must discard. Stop being sentimental. Stop fooling yourself that you are supporting Nnamdi Kanu. Go and ask questions. Nnamdi Kanu did his job well to enslave his people. That is why nobody can speak up. That is why many of them have run into their whole shell. But I wish he was using the same pattern for the supposedly presumed his enemy. The things would not have gotten decayed like this. Where is our Oduduwa nation agitators? I hope they are still there. Now they deceive us. I hope all of you are still there. But honestly, we do not stand to claim that we are perfect. We are not claiming to be infallible, no. But anything we have to do, with every sincerity, genuinity, we must to do that for the overall interest of our people. Who is responsible for our predicament? Who? You people have not seen the evil in IPOB, led by Nnamdi Kanu. But it's a matter of time. At least you are calling. But all of you were there when Nnamdi Kanu was character assassinating everybody. And some people think we will come here. We say Nigeria is a zoo. Okay, after it's a zoo, we are still inside the zoo. And then the next day we come out, oh, they are stealing our resources. We already know, and they are still stealing it. Hey, Nigerians are killing us. The world know already. What are we doing to put an end to all those complaints? We are even creating the same complaint. On Monday is closed here. Come and sit at home. But the person issuing you order to sit at home, it's not inside Nigeria. It's in diaspora. It's not sitting at home. And then because you have lost your ability to reason, I should be like you. If you lie, sit at home from here till tomorrow. The dealing now they cannot have is what we are trying to unravel. If you lie, sit at home from here till tomorrow. One day as a zombie they consider you to be, they will seal you, deliver you, document you. But on the expense of who? The next generation or what? And so if some of you think we are going to massage your ego and make you feel good, then I think you have a long way to go. Of course, you have the right to feel good. You have the right to be appreciated. You have the right to be acknowledged. Of course, depending on what you have done. And of course, at this moment, I am inching closer to the end of this program. My advice to Biafrans is look for the nearest Biafra Nation Alliance family and join. Forget about all those threats. The next day after I was expelled, only God knew what I did. Expelled from IPOB. Somebody called me. He works with the DSS. He's from Anambra State. He lives in Delta State. So I know everything about them. Criminals. The day this rain will fall. The day this rain will fall. And I think there is so much the next generation will learn. He called me and said, you see, we don't want you to say anything. Just keep quiet. And this is a man I respect. Just keep quiet. No matter what, don't see anything. Because he's a DSS man, now they cannot think he's going to use DSS to threaten me. And then, do you know how many of my family members are there? Are you invisible? Let me pick this call and come back and complete that story so that you know you are not the only person there. Caller on the line, can you hear me?
Hello, George.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Oka. I'm being wet.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. George, well done for the job you are doing. It is not easy because the damage done by IPOB under Nnamdi Kanu will take some time to be taken care of. A lot of people see him as Messiah. A lot of people see him as prophet. A lot of people see him as fighting for our collective interest, as having paid the price, having gone to prison, and a lot of people believe that Nigeria could not bribe him with oil resources, that Nigeria could not bribe him with billions of naira, that he came out and he's still talking about Biafra. So his strategy is quite complicated. It takes a man with mental stability, a high sense of reasoning, with utmost wisdom to decode what Kanu has done. But I will advise you to continue, and I will also advise you to maybe, on the day, exercise some constraint and patience with our people. Some of you know my person, and you know from 2013. Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Some of you know me. You know from 2013, since I disagreed with Nnamdi Kanu, and I told people that the guy is good. He's an orator. He's a gift to our people. But he has come to create awareness, and he has excellently done that. And I have to give him credit for that. But 2013, I told our people that he has completed his assignment. So fight. Myself, I am in Nigeria, and I live here in Igbo land, and I am known in my neighborhood. Then I was in constant communication with Karamonda. They were always talking tough. I told them, see, this strategy will not work. The first we should do is to make peace and create an atmosphere of love first, and bring our people together. That our people must be brought together. We must create a platform different from Nigerian platform, because Nigerian platform is, in fact, if you're a Nigerian system, if you're working in a Nigerian system, the Nigerian system will force you to be corrupt. It's quite difficult to have somebody working in a Nigerian system not to be corrupt, not to have anything in his skeleton. Nigerian system will always force you to commit one thing or the other. So as anytime you stand up to speak against them, they will use it to nail you. I told them that it's quite difficult to operate in Nigeria. That the only solution is our brothers in diaspora to fund these activities. The struggle. Because you don't expect any businessman in Nigeria to do that. From 2013, I know what I was saying. But George, I understand some of you were there. You have a passion for the struggle. You have emotion. You so much believe in Nnamdi Kanu. And I also talked to Uchemefo. I talked to his brother in Abuja, Lomefo. He's my friend. I told them that this way these guys are going will not give us anything. All of you believed in him. So the same way you believed in him from 2014 till 2000, or maybe you say 2017 or thereabout, I don't know. The same thing I want you to know, that those who are following him today are passionately, and they are real and they are genuine. And you don't expect them to believe what you are saying. So I'm only calling to encourage you, because it's not easy. Some of us have devised another means to continue with the struggle. Ours is good governance. We believe that in Biafra land here, we should have good politicians, we should have good environment, we should create our own, we create our own economy. We should create jobs for our people within Biafran economy, not Nigeria. We are not talking of Nigeria. We are talking of, like Anambra here, create an environment. Who says that we cannot generate our power? Who says we cannot have our own industries here and there? Who is saying that? Who says that we cannot have mechanized agriculture here? We can have all those things. So we are Biafrans here. We are Biafra. Nobody can take it away from us. So that is why, because if you come out to start direct fight within Nandekano, I mean my own side, I don't mean your own side. Because my own side, I have my strategy. Your side, I appreciate what you are doing. If you come straight to start fighting in direct, people will look at you and say, are you not fighting the same cause? Even people living with me will go against me. I'm telling you how far this guy has gotten the heart of people. They will go against me. They will say, why are you fighting him? Is he not envy? There's somebody that is fighting for our collective interest. Why should you go against him? Instead, you pray for him. He's a human being. He can make mistakes. Those who are talking this way are not inside the struggle, so they do not understand and appreciate the opportunities we have missed and the years we have wasted following this guy, trying to have a face, trying to build an institution. So they will not understand. So that is why I said my own way, our own way, and what you are doing, because somebody has to do the job we are doing. I've told you before that it's you people that have taken it now to where he is today, and it's you, George, and a few others that will bring him down. It's not me. I cannot bring him down. So I'm only calling to encourage you to continue with what we are doing. If there's anything you think we can do, we can always partner and assist, because we have a common interest. But I know that at the end of the day, truth will always prevail, because truth is sacrosanct. Truth will stand the test of time.
Thank you very much. And of course, that is how genuine people reason. Honestly, I do not stand to project myself as being right and very perfect, but we know the truth. We know the truth. And then how people feel about it depends on how they react and how we counter-react their emotion. Nandekano played his game well, and he's able to catch the people of Biafra off guard because of their love for Biafra. And some people think Nandekano cannot be brought down. Our mission is not to bring him down, but we will expose him. He said he's a God. We will put his righteousness to the test. Forget about our people. At this time, they are jittering and trying to find how do they. There are a lot of people of interest protecting their investment on top of Nandekano head, because maybe somehow when the Biafra come, Nandekano junior brother is vice president already. His in-law is master prophet already, and then the fine boy is in charge of security, and then Nandekano can make them deputy finance minister. And so because of that, they blind themselves to the truth. We do not have respect for such people. But very soon, when they see that Nnamdi Kanu have that mandate to be a kingmaker in Biafra land, they will understand. He didn't achieve anything that we did not give him the support. He did not achieve anything except we stood on his behalf. And then the only way forward is to blackmail everybody. But of course, it's not personal. Anyhow we won't make we do them, we go they do them until our people know the truth. Look at what our land has become. A land of zombie, nobody reason properly again. And then I'm waiting for such Biafra. People will feel bad. They will feel bad, I understand. But we will stand on the beacon. We are not going anywhere.
No, see, my brother, I understand what you are doing, seriously. You have to expose evil. You are on the right path. But at the same time, you have to sympathize with our people, George. If you understand,
of course, that is why I call them brother. I call them brother, all of them.
You have to sympathize with even those people who are IPOB members are not alone. The word of those professors in the universities that if you dare talk about Nnamdi, they will fight you. I'm telling you, I have first-hand experience. Even professors I brought into the struggle because I criticized Nnamdi. They started fighting me. I mean, George, if you know how emotional our people are because of Biafra,
of course.
See, the solution, the thing is that as you expose him, you are giving our people hope and direction.
Of course.
I'm not saying this direction because this customary government will started it. I am the director of information under the customary government of Iki Elders, Ikedife, Achuzde, Ades Ozobo. I was working directly under them. Throughout those years, Nnamdi Kanu was trying to destroy everything, institution of customary government.
It's unfortunate.
I was the director of information. I was always on Sun and those who were leading the propaganda. I wasn't afraid. Many a time they have threatened to kill me, kill my family, but I wasn't because I was on the path of truth. So I knew the whole thing, and this unity meeting have we organized there in Biafra land. Some of your men came that time. We organized one in Enugu, we organized in Enugu, we organized in Owerri, because we knew that you cannot achieve Biafra alone. You need all hands to be on deck. So this thing you are doing today now with the Asare Dokubu Wazuka was what we did 2014. Even we invited the Wazuka, but they never wanted to come because people believe that Nnamdi Kanu has the magical wing. He will get Biafra from the moon. But I knew then that it's not possible because of my wisdom. People are led by emotion. So I understand. I want you to understand. And that is why I say, thank God you guys are doing the right thing now by calling everybody to come together. But people are expecting too much from you. People want you to, if you come on radio, you tell them that Biafra is coming next year, or Biafra is coming, or perhaps for you to tell them the process will take to achieve it. That is why some of them will come
and then we may eventually end up like in Nnamdi Kanu. Of course.
That is why some of them will ask me, George, tell us how you want to achieve Biafra. If you don't lie, because Nnamdi Kanu has already lied, he has already in the morning to see Biafra.
It's unfortunate. Thank you very much for your contribution. We will continue from there. And of course, this is how progressive-minded individuals should reason. Thank you very much, my brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Progressive-minded individual. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, good evening, Maz. Dear Onyibe, I should say, and good evening, all Biafrans, men and women of goodwill from around the world. My name is Ucheme4. I want to, first of all, appreciate all members of the Biafra Nations Alliance, and
all the officials of the Biafra de facto customary government led by our Haji Mujahid Dokuba Sawi, and of course deputized by our sister, Mrs. Anborg, and of course not forgetting the patron and father of the new Republic Biafra, Chief Rafa Wazirike. Of course, all members of other pro-Biafra groups who have come together to, of course, initiate this life-changing project of making sure that they around the common purpose. I salute all of you. I appreciate all of you personally from the bottom of my heart. We must get to where we have set our eyes to. Our destination is freedom of Biafra and Biafrans. God willing, is going to happen in our lifetime. Having said that, I want to go straight to the point. The truth about it is that the challenges and the developments in Biafra land today is such that it is allowed by the Most High God to teach each and every one of us lessons. It's to teach each and every one. Can you hear me? But it appears that the line is not very clear. Do I cover WhatsApp?
It's very clear. Go ahead.
Okay, so the circumstance that we find ourselves today cannot be said to be unexpected. At the same time, nobody has control over it except the Most High God. But in situations like this, here comes a time when a group of people stand by what they believe, and they can only be vindicated or be condemned by history. We have come right from the beginning. All of us have vowed, as it was in the 1960s, be restored, because it was our inheritance robbed by us, robbed wrongly by the Nigerian state and her collaborators around the world. And therefore, it is our commitment, having pronounced that this is going to be a reality. That is our intention. And the Most High God knows that most of us believe sincerely in what we are doing. And so he's going to crown our effort. He's going to shine his face and favor upon us always. The circumstance that led to where we are today cannot be hidden, but some people are trying so much. They are working seriously hard to deceive, to divert people's attention from what the issues are. But we will continue to refer them back to where it all started. Biafra Nations Alliance came out of the scheming, out of deception, out of blackmail, out of lies being peddled by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the overzealous members of IPOB who were following him. We were all the architects of what IPOB was up until the last couple of months ago. So Nnamdi Kanu and all other people claiming that Nnamdi Kanu set up IPOB, he's a liar. He's a liar and he knows it. He cannot even come out and challenge me or any other person or you or anybody that have come out from IPOB that he is the one that founded IPOB. He didn't found IPOB. Nnamdi Kanu was in a very difficult situation because of his arrogance, because of his unconscionable actions and conduct. He chased away a lot of people. He was left alone. It was only me remaining with Nnamdi Kanu when IPOB was registered. Of course, the name Indigenous People of Biafra was first used by Barrister Emeka Esli. We must have to call it spade a spade. And during the time of the Human Rights Initiative, I suggested to them when he was preparing the court document, he was saying that Indigenous People of Biafra is being represented by the Human Rights Initiative. And in a meeting, I challenged all of them and I said to him, why will you say that the Human Rights Initiative will be representing Indigenous People of Biafra instead of us answering Indigenous People of Biafra? Why don't we answer Indigenous People of Biafra instead of using the Human Rights Initiative in court? Why don't we say that Indigenous People of Biafra is suing Nigerian government directly? And we debated this thing. It is an email because I decided to leave some people to lie according to the way they are lying naturally. A lot of them are claiming that they were the people that came up with IPOB and all that. It was debated. This thing is an email. I will make it open. And then it was Barrister Imam Mezu, may his soul rest in peace, that was saying, with MF4, we should leave this matter to professionals who know the work. That Barrister Emeka Esli knows what he was doing. Barrister Emeka Esli on his own side wanted to seek the opinion of every other person. His argument was that if we are to use Indigenous People of Biafra, that it has to be passed by the state's houses of assembly in Biafra land so that it will become a legal entity. And that we cannot register it at the CSC, unlike the Human Rights Initiative. I personally disagree because my own position was that we don't need to register Indigenous People of Biafra in Nigeria, but we can register it other places. I suggested to them that we should register this thing in the UK and other places. They disagreed. The majority carried the vote that we cannot register it. Barrister Emeka argued that Indigenous People of Biafra, that you don't register a people. That was his argument then. And he has said it on several occasions. So when Nnamdi Kanu, out of his arrogance, chased away every other person, of course, we have some ideological differences with Barrister Emeka Esli. Nnamdi came back to me. He was left alone. He was alone, not knowing what to do. And I told him, look, we have to move ahead. He asked me, Uche, are you going to stand by me? I said yes, for us to push this project forward. Because he was alone. Then he told me, okay, that thing you suggested, let us register IPOB. That was how we registered IPOB. There are other people who are talking about, having different things about it. But what I'm talking to you about, I am aware of. And I have it in email, how the discussion started in 2012, 2013. So we registered IPOB, the first IPOB that was registered. That was also the time when I was working on this radio you hear all over the internet. Radio Biafra, because the first Radio Biafra that was instituted, or rather set up, was in 2009 by Chifu Wazulike. We were not on the internet because internet was not fashionable at the time. We were only recording and broadcasting through shortwave. Platform. And after Radio Biafra was, collapsed because for some reasons and disagreement, Chief Wazuke stopped sponsoring Radio Biafra. We closed from 2009 to 2012 when we all started again. That was when I started working on this internet. We worked on this internet radio for almost 1 year. They were all laughing at me. You will hear now they come saying, Uchemefo, when he comes, he will connect wire and drop laptop and tell us to talk. That time we were going to a Yoruba man who was recording radio program for us and airing it on his own platform. Then it was at some point that Barrister Mohammed said, let us go to his house and begin to broadcast from his house. Why are we always begging, going to people's studio? That he volunteer his living room. And he actually did. So a lot of things, I can't say which one came first because Dr. Egemba, Chukwunebuneze Maazi Nwada Amarachi Okpara, and a few others. Later they all left. So let me just put it in a very concise fashion. The IPOB, now the Kanu is claiming today to have started. He did not start it alone. There were other people who were part of it. And then IPOB is not supposed to be a one-man organization. And then the reason why we registered IPOB was to give it a legal status. And here in the UK, you cannot legitimately deal with people without registering an organization as an entity, unless you are a church or charity. And then here in the UK as well, they refused to register IPOB as a charity because they said that IPOB is a political organization and that it can't register a political organization or an activist organization as a charity. That was why IPOB was not registered as a charity here in the UK, for those who are making unsubstantiated arguments. And for you to effectively transact, or rather coordinate people and to move around and do something officially. Here in the UK and other parts of Europe, you have to register the organization. That government will be able to regulate it. I'll leave that one. I wanted to go down this memory lane for people to understand. If anybody doubts me, I will floor them. I left them to continue to lie, and it is now on record. Now, what brought us where we are today? IPOB was built on foundation of non-violence. It was built on foundation of non-violence through the collaboration of all our people from different parts of the world. When it was first formed, after the registration in the UK, there was that of Germany, there was USA, there was Malaysia. The first worldwide coordinator, I can't remember what he was called then, was Mazike Chukwenyagu then. Let me leave this one here. But the point remains that anybody asking you about what is your plan, what does Biafra Nations Alliance stand for, you don't need to go too far. You don't need to go too far because our ideology is the same thing with that of IPOB because we were all part of IPOB. The only difference is the violence that Nnamdi Kanu now adopted as a policy, which is a deviation from what we had before. And then the rise and blackmail and victimization of those who cannot speak for themselves. It was that lie, it was that blackmail that led a number of us where we are today. Nnamdi Kanu sat on the misery and pains of the people. He kept quiet. He continued to play God as he claimed. He knew all that was happening in IPOB. He did not want to intervene and tell people what he knew because he wanted to cut down everybody. He wanted to stand on everybody's head. And it is very glaring. It is very clear today. I will not do certain things because I took it a personal issue that it is between me and him. He is in detention now. And therefore, I won't say certain things. There are certain things that are between me and him. And when all these people, these errats are talking, when these overzealous IPOB members are talking, I don't have to respond to them. I can only respond to their master. Nnamdi Kanu commissioned IPOB media thing with fake accounts to be blackmailing our people, to be blackmailing and intimidating those who cannot speak for themselves. You are one of them, one of the victims, Mazo Bienu, and a whole lot of people, Dr. Kado, Ezekwesili, and the rest of them. There are so many of them. And why am I taking this long route this evening? I am taking this long route this evening for us to look at what is happening today as we speak. What is happening to IPOB today as we speak is nemesis. It is karma. Because what goes up must come down. And I told him Nnamdi Kanu, he cannot deny it. Some of them are crying today. Oh, you are blackmailing principal officers of IPOB. You are telling lies against principal officers of IPOB. You are doing this, you are doing that. This is what they did to all of us. The likes of Mrs. Sanya, she should be ashamed of herself because she is the architect of what has happened. She has all the information that Nnamdi Kanu used against some of the people. She is very much aware of it. The one they call Kanu Takanu was responsible for using fake Facebook accounts, talking all manner of rubbish against you, against me, against a number of other people, in collaboration with his brother, Nnamdi Kanu. The monster Nnamdi Kanu was building is now turning against him and eating all of them up. Then the inconsequential, devilish gangs in the not fit for purpose DOS, Directorate of State, led by Chike Edoziem, are today continuing their missteps, fighting themselves. They are hiding, they don't want themselves to be exposed, but everything is bubbling up. They deceived Nnamdi Kanu in taking certain horrible decisions that are now boomeranging against him and all of them. They introduced to him going to see us and Dibia. Tomorrow they will see you as there will be a prophecy, fake prophecy. Tells them that look, you are an enemy. Don't talk to this person, avoid this person, do that. From professing the goodness of God to going into sorcery, to going into traditional medicine, to going to seers, to lying against innocent people. Akuwara, a number of them, Ruby, name them. Then, but on social, the Alphonsus, name them, all of them in Biafra who are being intimidated. Their pains cannot be in vain. The cries of these vulnerable people that cannot speak for themselves are reaching to where the Most High God is. God is hearing it. And so let IPOB miscreants, let them not think, or let them not think that what is happening is just a natural occurrence. It has spiritual connotations. The spirit of the land of Biafra is against IPOB as it is today. A lot of people have been wasted. A lot of lives have been destroyed. And they'll tell you, oh, you commanded IPOB, you commanded us to go and protest. You commanded us to go and do this. All the decisions taken when Nnamdi Kanu was in detention in Kuje, he was the one taking it. Dear Onyibe, you know how you people are taking instruction from him, from detention. Even the one I take, they will go and tell him, oh, UTMF4 is countering, UTMF4, he will reverse it. So let us not go there. The lies Nnamdi Kanu has come with that led to the that formed the last straw that brought camel's back was in August, September 2020, when he lied that Radio Biafra was sold. He knew that he was lying. He was lying to the world. He was lying and at the same time praying to God with the same mouth. He commissioned unscrupulous elements in IPOB to be saying that UTMF4 took money from Soludo, UTMF4 took money from Nigerian government, and they broadcasted it all over. And then they later went on and said that all those who are speaking in support of UTMF4 gave them the money. This is the money that Nigerian government gave to them. Nigerian government they went from 20 billion to 120 billion. I don't know how much it is today. It is now working. And then they strategized, they used this blackmail in Biafra land against me, against a number of people, and against those who have also been victims before me, and before you, and before Mazobi, and before Ezekwesili and the rest of them. They made it impossible for the general masses in Biafra land to know the truth. Nnamdi Kanu was at the head of it. Your Messiah, your Savior, the man that lies with the same mouth that he prays to God with. He wrapped his deception with Biafra flag. That is what he said to Chief Wazwike. If Chief Wazwike wrapped whatever with Biafra flag, Nnamdi Kanu wrapped deception with the Bible. And on top of it, flying Biafra flag. So what Nnamdi Kanu has caused, the pains Nnamdi Kanu has caused, together with those who are deceiving him, or former, devilish man in Australia hiding. The pains he has caused cannot go in vain, because people have cried. People have cried to God. Let us know the God Nnamdi Kanu is worshiping. And I have personally caused IPOB. You know, there are so many prophets. I have personally, Uchemefo, have caused IPOB because of the lies, because of deception, because of blackmail, because of unimaginable evil being done against innocent people. And because Nnamdi Kanu lied until today, a lot of people are suffering as a result of his lies. But Nemesis is catching up with all of them. They are all crying. You are blackmailing innocent members of the DOS. But these members of DOS are responsible for what is happening today as well. So there is something like blackmail, self. So there is something like lie at all. So there is something like propaganda at all. They never believed it, but today they are confessing that there are people who are blackmailing, lying against innocent people and all that. But these are the people who were clapping, forming fake Facebook accounts to blackmail, to tell lies. The evil men do. We not only follow them, it will continue to torment, and if care is not taken, destroy them. So if anybody asks you, what is your ideology? Our ideology remains the same. Non-violent restoration of Biafra, equity and justice and fairness for all, collaboration, consultation. Every part of Biafra land must have equal say in issues that concern them as we move ahead to our collective self-emancipation as a people. Nobody will be left behind. The Igboization of Biafran struggle must be confronted head on. That is what IPOB is today. You remember, we raised issue in the DOS about issue of representation. If we say that this Biafra we are looking for is Biafra of the 1967 to 1970, then it is not only Igbos. We must have to bring in other people from different parts of Biafra land for them to be part and parcel of this all-important restoration effort. As a result of it, they started fighting with MF4 and other people because we are telling them the right thing to do. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you said that we cannot have anything to do with politicians. We all agree. That was a wonderful suggestion. We all agreed. All of us bought into it. But as time went on, the same politicians that you're saying that, look, we are not going to have any contact with. When you come in the open, you profess. You say, these are criminals, these are this. In the end, you go at the back and send people to go and collect money for you. Behind our backs, without us knowing about it. You have your foot soldiers. They are still there in Biafra land. Some governors in Biafra land are paying Nnamdi Kanu. He cannot deny it. We came to know of this of late. So what is the hypocrisy we are talking about? It is epitomized in the way Nnamdi Kanu is going about the Biafran struggle. And I have told him, if you can tell, or we all can come out and tell the Biafran people, look, we have nothing to do with Nigerian politics, we have nothing to do with politicians, but in the end, you still go around to go and meet them. Why don't we then tell our people, look, things have changed. Let us review our decision. You said no. Uche, no, if you tell people this thing, it will be calamity over our... I said, but why are you then going? There is no escape route. We have to apply the international law requirement of us. That is why I have been talking about the video declaration. That is why I have been talking about democratic participation and control in Biafra land, not in Nigeria. Because without us politically controlling Biafra land, we will continue to be on the edge. And the international community will never have any direct contact with us as officials of Biafra land. They will always go to these people elected by the Nigerian system to speak with them. That's another thing for another day. But since Nnamdi Kanu, after saying that we don't have anything to do with politicians, but behind the scenes, he goes back in a nocturnal fashion to go and meet them. Why then are we deceiving the people? Why then are we telling people we don't need PVC, don't go and register, don't go and vote? The same people we are saying that we don't have to meet, later you go and meet them. So what is the essence of them telling people not to have anything to do with politics, not to have anything to do with PVC in Biafra land? These are internal discussions that we have been having. After saying it, you will be dismissed and all that. When you want to say something, they say, oh, if you say this thing, that means you're sabotaging Biafra. They use the sentiment of Biafra, the fact that all of us believe in freedom, to hoodwink all of us. It is no longer going to be the same. We tell ourselves the truth, and the truth is that nobody owns Biafra. I heard somebody telling you that you are talking against Biafra because you are talking about Nnamdi Kanu. And you begin to ascertain, you begin to, form some kind of judgment about the mentality of the people you are dealing with. So Biafra is now Nnamdi Kanu's property, isn't it? Nnamdi Kanu can commit all manner of atrocities, say all manner of unprintable things about people. And people will hail him, commend him. But if you, George Onyibe, or another person, say even 0.0000% of what Nnamdi Kanu is saying, your head will be cut off. They will deal with you. So what kind of hypocrisy is that? We have not come to restore anybody. We have come to restore Biafra. And if we must tell ourselves the truth, we must have to be brutal with that truth. Abomination is being committed in Biafra land today. And it is so disappointing. It is unacceptable that the so-called elders in Biafra land, that the so-called leaders of thought in Biafra land, that the so-called elected representatives in Biafra land who claim to be in charge of our economic and political future in Biafra land are keeping quiet over the atrocities being committed by IPOB led by Nnamdi Kanu. I say no to IPOB today, but I will not keep quiet because abomination is being committed. IPOB is today answering different variant names. Unknown government, ESN. They are all from IPOB. And so let us tell ourselves the truth. Let us stop this deception against ourselves. The Southeast governors are afraid to speak up against this evil. The so-called elders in Biafra land, both community leaders and religious leaders, are afraid that if they stand up and speak, then they will be killed. That is why the spirit of the land of Biafra will continue to be angry with all of us. For the first time in my life, I have seen for the first time in my lifetime where people are killed, after them, you cut off their head and carry them along the street and people will be hailing you in Biafra land and in Igbo land. Abomination is what it is. Because I grew up knowing that you cannot shed blood. And by extension, Biafrans cannot shed blood. It is entrenched in our culture. Sacrilege. It is abomination. It is a heinous crime that people are killed because they have different opinions from Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB followers of his. All of us, including Nnamdi Kanu, are talking about Nigeria. Nigeria is evil. Nigeria is an abomination. Fulanis are killing us. Fulanis are destroying us. But the same Nnamdi Kanu and a number of them will turn around and commit even worse than what the Fulanis have committed against our people. We want to go for our freedom. We want our freedom. We want to extricate ourselves from Nigeria. I am saying it and I continue to say it. Because Nigeria is a crime against humanity. Because Nigeria is an abomination. Because Nigeria has spilled the blood of innocent Biafrans. Because Nigeria has marginalized us. Because Nigeria has robbed us of our inheritance. And so, he who goes to equity must go with clean hands. If Biafra we are fighting for is a Biafra of whose is foundation, or which is foundation will be the pool of blood of innocent Biafrans. If Biafra's foundation will be built on the spilling of blood of innocent Biafrans, if the foundation of Biafra is going to be built on abomination and of atrocity, I choose to stand alone. What is happening in Biafra land today is an eyesore, and nobody, no right-thinking human being should overlook it. We all want freedom. We all want Biafra. We all want to extricate ourselves from Nigeria. But we must be better than Nigeria, not being worse than Nigeria. We are talking about our independence. We are talking about right to self-determination. We are talking about the fact that Nigeria is violating our human rights. We are even taking Nigeria to International Criminal Court. How then can we, the victims of the Nigerian state, turn around all of a sudden to begin to commit crimes against ourselves? We say that we are fighting Fulani headsmen, Fulani killer headsmen. We say that we want to drive them away from Biafra land. But today, none of these enemies have been scratched. The people bearing the brunt of Nnamdi Kanu's misdirected, disoriented, and calamitous campaign of horror and intimidation and violence are all Biafrans. And let me be conservative. 99.9% of the victims of the violence unleashed on Biafra land today, and specifically an Igbo part of Biafra, are all Igbo Biafrans. Then what sort of freedom are we fighting? If the people we are vowing publicly and pronouncing publicly to protect, to liberate from the enemy, we now turn our victims. They are now going to be the victims of our own actions and inaction. And albeit in a very negative, despicable sense. Then we have no justification fighting for Biafra until we know the essence of what we are looking for. Hypocrisy must be fought head on. If we cannot tell ourselves the truth at this particular point in time, then there is no business of us fighting for Biafra. But God forbid, we want this Biafra, we shall get, but it must be fought on the altar and platform of truth, equity, fairness, and justice. And that is what we stand for here. And do not let anyone, do not entertain for a moment, even a second, anybody telling you otherwise that what you are doing is wrong. I challenge Nnamdi Kanu. I challenge all these sycophantic members of the DOS to a public oath that what they accuse innocent people who are very angry as we speak today are correct. If they swear, they will all die. But nature abhors vacuum, and there is a way nature treats those who are treacherous to it. That is what is happening to IPOB today. Nemesis, the consequences, the unintended consequences of actions and inactions and missteps of Nnamdi Kanu and those who are supporting him against men and women that did nothing other than that they said the truth and advised on the way forward, are coming after all of them. I have caused IPOB, I repeat it. Let me know the deity or the oracle that you worship. Because the forces of heaven and earth is against IPOB. You may have temporary gains or temporal gains. But unless you change, unless Nnamdi Kanu repents, IPOB is going to disintegrate into factions that will haunt each and every one of us. And let me say this for the last time. What IPOB is doing, using different names, beheading Biafrans, no matter how many they have beheaded, it is an abomination. It is a crime against humanity that we must all stand up against. And even if I am the only person standing, I don't care. I have my own strategy as well. So what we need, we don't need numbers here. We don't need numbers. We don't need multitude. What we need are men and women of integrity who can stand up for the truth. We want Biafra. But that Biafra must come on the altar and platform of justice, equity, and fairness. Our ideology with IPOB is 98% the same, because that is what we formed as a foundation before leaving IPOB. It was in the late 2020 that the last straw that brought the camel's back came to be. And this is where we find ourselves today. So we need to implement certain things that we disagree with. Referencing Nnamdi Kanu and his overzealous followers. And we will continue to hammer on it and consolidate on it. And let no one be afraid. They should be afraid of us, not us being afraid of them. And I have said that until I am lowered 6 feet, or I break my last, as long as Nnamdi Kanu continues his blackmail and lies, I'm not going to rest. We shall continue to talk about it, because all of us built IPOB to an enviable level, and to such an extent that the whole world knew about the latest issue concerning Biafra before Nnamdi Kanu decided to blackmail and, lie against everybody. If you look at the so-called code of conduct that Nnamdi Kanu came up with in the second quarter of 2020, you will see the evil behind this whole thing. I challenge Nnamdi Kanu on that. A number of us challenging Nnamdi Kanu in the DOS.
Nnamdi Kanu want to make himself an emperor. That is what is happening to. And then these other sycophantic members of DOS supported him. Now the whole thing is turning round to harm them. On another note, this ghost town ideology is what the Ambazonians practice. A calamitous, disastrous campaign of horror and terror against their own people. And today, Chanworu that is hiding in different parts of Middle East or Asia, as the case may be. One arm they handed over the issue of security. And he has been committing all manner of crimes against our people in Biafra land. Today, they are being instructed and tutored by the Ambazonian people. If the Ambazonians are making progress, why is it that Ambazonia has not been an independent country today? Judging and taking into account what they have said. That campaign of horror and terror is a disaster because instead of fighting the enemy, they are fighting their own people, killing their own people. That is what now they come and these devilish psychopathic US members want to replicate in Biafra land and what stay in Igbo part of Biafra land. As a result, a number of our people have been marked and killed. And not only killed, beheaded. There are videos out there. And so let no one come up and begin to say what they don't know. There is no justification for killing Biafrans. There is no justification for calling any Biafran a saboteur. If they don't agree with you, prove them wrong. There is no justification for shedding blood of innocent Biafrans on the street of Biafra land by the same Biafrans who claim to be their liberators. That is why it is as if we are focusing on issues in Biafra land rather than the way forward. The way forward cannot come to be until we solve this heinous crime of abomination. And for avoidance of that, nobody is dragging leadership of IPOB within Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu is the one fighting himself. He feels insecure. And that is why he's fighting everyone. If Biafra is restored today, for instance, and assuming it is the legacy that IPOB is leaving behind, Biafra is going to be restored upon. So what we are going to be seeing is a situation of as a sponsored assassination of fellow Biafrans. When you talk, you get lost. When you talk, you disappear. So what is the difference between the Biafra we're talking about and Nigeria? This is the reason why we must fight evil and fight it to a standstill before we move forward. And so if anybody talks to you, refer them to Nnamdi Kanu. Somebody is talking to you, calling you a saboteur. If I'm a saboteur, Nnamdi Kanu is a mega saboteur. Because he sabotaged the struggle itself as we speak. He deviated from the original intention. And today, he's claiming to be the savior. But the same savior is the one killing our people. It cannot happen. Even if the whole Biafrans are against me, I will stand alone. And I want to die for what I believe in. And I urge others to do so. Stand on justice. Stand on the truth. They should be afraid of you, not you being afraid of them. And we haven't said anything. I haven't done anything. because I want nature to take its course, and nature is taking its course. What goes up is beginning to come down. Until now, they can repent. IPOB will turn into a criminal gang before his eyes, and nobody will be listening to him. If he continues in his evil ways, if now they can issue instructions, nobody is going to listen to him. And it's beginning to happen. This is something nobody has control over. All of us are going to die someday and somehow. And if we, like every other person is saying, if we say the right thing, all of us are going to die. Death will come. If we don't say it, death will come. So why don't we stand on the truth and proudly profess it that Biafra we are seeking for will be restored in honor and in dignity. Thank you very much, Onyibe. Thank you for giving me this time. It's been a long time and I'm taking a lot of time.
Thank you very much, sir. The pleasure is mine. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. God bless.
Good night from here. And of course, the people of Biafra, we know you are really not ready for the truth. But the earlier you get ready, the better for all of us. Nnamdi Kanu has disappointed the people of Biafra. Of course, he's making effort to recruit to dampen the image of those who stood out for the truth. But we go nowhere. Sooner or later, you will understand the mindset behind those words. Some of you think it is as a result of maturity. That is why he's not responding to everything we have been saying, most especially me. But no, he's not ready for what is going to come. Like as I was saying before Mazimefo joined us, when I was removed from IPOB, it's a DSS man called me in a direct way to threaten me. Don't say anything, keep quiet, everything will be all right. And meanwhile, on Radio Biafra, they are busy scandalizing my name. I look at the man, I keep quiet. Today I'm talking. It's unfortunate anyway. Call on what you hear me.
I'm here. Good evening.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Okay. My name is Bright. I'm calling from Brazil.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. I just want to thank you guys for what you guys are doing. And I want to thank Mazimefo for taking time to break down. You know, a lot of people have been a lot of things, but they don't really know what has happened or this why. You know, I've overheard him, one of the brokers, he said that they fought with this guy for some years, trying to correct him.
Almost 4
but
years.
The more you try to,
almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. We have been trying to manage his excesses.
Yes. The more you try to correct him, the more he gets out of hand. Somebody sent me a video this evening. That video was an interview granted by this channel, the Tinubu's channel, TVC. You know, they were asking that guy a question. The guy was like, the federal government should first of all come and explain before they try. They should explain how they arrested Nnamdi Kanu. And I was like, Nnamdi Kanu should first of all tell Biafrans how he escaped. Since 2017 till now, has he ever come out and said, this is how I escaped Nigeria? They said, I told them that the way he escaped is the way they brought him back. Because he cannot come out and tell, this is how I escaped. You know? People have, see,
he actually said he was evacuated. So he should tell us the meaning of evacuated. He granted a
Yes.
press communique to one Israeli TV, and he said he was evacuated by his boys. But that grammar evacuated is something he has to give us the in-depth explanation. Go ahead, please.
Yes, the same way his boys evacuated him is the same way the federal government brought him back. That guy is a mess. He has really messed our people up. Do you know that that is an information I have? I have an information from a reliable source that that guy came to what the guy came to Africa to do. Okay, you say you are DOS. Your master got missing for like 8 days. You don't even know where he was. These people need to. This IPOB members should go and carry all those people they call their leaders, all of them, and bring them one place and start to try them. Because if they say that this guy is your leader, you don't know where your leader was for like 8 days. That simply means that is a disconnection somewhere. For a long time now, the Lakano has been on his own. I got it on a reliable, on a good authority that Nnamdi Kanu came to Africa. He said on the air some time ago that if the steps to get Biafra is 3 steps, that the Biafrans know 1, which before knows 2, and only him know the number 3. And the number 3 card is what he came to Africa to play. I had it on a good authority that he actually came to Africa to meet Al-Shabaab. When he was threatening Nigeria that he's going to burn down Nigeria. He's going to burn down Nigeria. So nobody knew what he was going to do. I got it on a good authority. Not knowing that Al-Shabaab are actually Muslim-like people. That there is a connection between Al-Shabaab and the ones in terrorizing the northern Nigeria and all those stuffs. That he actually came to Africa to meet Al-Shabaab, and from there he will have a link with Al-Shabaab, and you begin to see sophisticated weapons in Biafra land. But God was so kind to us, he couldn't succeed. In his wildest dreams, who told him that he would succeed? And the people that should be there crying, begging Igbos for forgiveness, begging Biafrans for forgiveness, are there making threats. Who are you threatening? We should be clapping for you for depriving students that are going to write a NECO exam. You deprive them from writing that exams. Tomorrow you come and say you are fighting for them. You are fighting for who? Who are you fighting for? Our people should stand up and start asking critical questions. When you start asking critical questions, you will understand that these people stop fighting for you for a long time. They stopped fighting for you for a long time ago. When Nnamdi Kanu saw money, he started deviating. That's the truth. Whether they like to hear it or not, I sometimes you will be telling them here in Brazil, and some of them will be like want to fight. But let me tell you, the work you guys are doing, some of them are really coming out. Some are really coming back to this. Some of them, a lot of them are really coming back to their senses. A lot of them, gradually, they are coming back to their senses. The work is actually going on. The thing is actually sinking small. It's actually sinking into their mind small. I want to tell them, if you're a member of IPOB, this is just a secret. Start now to renounce IPOB, because very soon, very soon, group of Biafrans is going to rise against IPOB, and that will be clapped down on anything called IPOB, and that will be the end. That will be the end. If they like, they should take it. If they like, they should leave it. But what I'm telling you is going to happen. A group of Biafrans is going to rise up against this menace, because you can't tell me that you're fighting for me and you are killing our people. Who are you fighting for? If somebody talk, you say that person is a sabo, you go and kill the person. That means that is something you're hiding. You don't want people to know. That is something you're hiding that you don't want anybody to know about. That is why you want anybody that speak up, you want to kill that person. You don't want that person to say the truth. That means all you've been selling to people all this while is a lie. How can you say that you are just, and you come 2 days after
telling people no election, no election. You come 2 days to the election and you say they have signed, sealed, and delivered. Or you ask them, everybody should go and vote. Can you come publicly and show all the documents they signed? You cannot show. Somebody said the other day that what is going on in Imo State is actually political battle. I told him, yes, you are right, because I know that Rochas Okorocha actually gave him money to use his voice to make Imo uncomfortable, to terrorize Imo State. Rochas Okorocha and his cohorts. Whether you like it or not, until we start setting our priorities straight, they are going nowhere. So very soon, another revolution is going to take place, and that will be the end of IPOB. And anybody that have answered IPOB, one thing is certain: if anybody has ever shed an innocent blood because of IPOB, you can never go scot-free. I'm telling them. I even tell them here. One man the other day was challenging me. We were debating. He was challenging me. I said, "What makes you a government? Is it not that you are a government and you have an opposition, and the work of opposition is to criticize you, and your work as a government is when opposition criticizes you, you look at that in opposition is criticizing you about, and you say that record straight. That is, government will be moving. The work of opposition is to move you forward, is to make sure you're moving forward. But now, if they criticize you, say that person needs to die. Then tell me the difference between you and Boko Haram. Tell me the difference between you and Boko Haram. If anybody say that they don't agree with your view, that person is a saboteur, they should kill the person. And the man said that anybody that the saboteur should be killed instantly. I asked him, is your children in Nigeria? He said no. Is your wife in Nigeria? He said no. I said, you don't have any right to talk about what will happen in Igbo land. You don't have any right. Because if you want to say anything that will happen in Igbo land, buy your ticket and go back to Nigeria. If you are on ground, you have the right to say what will happen. But since you are not on ground, you don't have any rights. All you are doing is to ginger people's children to go and die, people's husbands to go and die, people's uncles to go and die. What happens to those people that die? What happens to people that depend on them for a living? What happens to people that depend on them to succeed in life? What happens to children that depend on them for their school fees? When that person is taken out and you are here making noise. I'm telling them this evening, if they know themselves very, very well, they should start now running for their lives, because the real fire is coming. The real fire is coming. And like as I said before, they will be very, very disappointed when they will hear the real truth. What is actually happening between Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government. The one they should even kill, the one they should stone to death without even delay, is that one that rob bleaching cream. That one they call a Jofo. That one is the one they should bring now and stone him to death. They say Nnamdi Kanu is a savior. Am I right? Then why is a Jofo going to look for spiritual means to get Nnamdi Kanu released? These people are very, very funny. That guy will go inside the SS office.
They have seen brainless people that they can manipulate. They think
I'm telling you,
it's unfortunate.
He will go inside the SS office and talk with Nnamdi Kanu, and he will come out. Instead of him to tell you the truth, what is at stake, he will come there and make blah 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 blah, so that the remaining money in the account they will be bringing in and be given to him, and he's going about the state of Onitsha spreading money. I'm telling you, what is awaiting that guy? What is awaiting that guy? I will not tell it. I cannot really tell it now. What is awaiting him? Because I know he is the next person that is deceiving the people. What he's saying is actual lies. What he's saying is actual lies. I know that from the back they are trying to do a plea bargain from somewhere, but they don't want to tell the Biafrans the truth. And they think that these people are telling them the truth, don't knowing that a Jofa and his cohort are lying to them. Look at between him and the other guy, they have a conflicting report. Both of them. This one is saying another thing. This one is saying another thing. That is to tell you that both of them are not even in agreement of what they're doing. Very, very soon they will start fighting because of money. Just like the DOS and Nnamdi Kanu is fighting now. This people- and those women that goes about in US doing those show of shame, they should get themselves together and go back to their work. And those of them contributing this money that is causing the shed of blood in our land. Let them come and step into that land where their money has caused a lot of shedding of blood, and let's see what will happen to them. I don't have much to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother. And of course, our time is far spent, and then we will begin to wind down on this program. Do not forget the target, the essence of this broadcast. I'm just trying to remind Biafrans to be aware of certain strategy or categories of self-inflicted war. In other words, we are the one who is inflicting ourselves with war. I think that should be considered a borrowed topic from Aseko Babe. Nnamdi Kanu is the one who has take our minors, take advantage of our adolescents, turn them to unknown gunmen, and then they kill us. We are the one killing ourselves. Fulani herdsmen seems not to be active in Biafra land since the disappearance of Nnamdi Kanu. And so who is afflicting us? Who is afflicting us? Is it equal Ebonyi crisis? Who is even initiating it? And every politician who is associating with IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu, it is time you better begin to redefine your position and move back. Because Nnamdi Kanu, unknown gunmen, and China Sanguru and the gangster of idiot called DOS are yapping and claiming morality that they know nothing about, does not mean that is how it's going to be. We choose this battle. It will be on a battleground of our own choosing. And you people don't even know what is happening. But who is our enemy here? Who is our enemy here? The people of Biafra must outgrow all these stupidities. We must outgrow all these shenanigans. Now the Kanu on daily basis is losing his. Where are all the media warriors? Shame. Shame. What do you have now? We were fighting for Biafra, but everything you hear, supposedly your Jehovah. Nnamdi Kanu, your Jehovah. It's Monday you must sit at home, on Monday you must sit at home. Did we come to organize sit at home protest? It's unfortunate. We understand how you feel, but it's quite unfortunate that none of you can do anything about it. Biafra agitation cannot reduce to Igbo agitation. It remains Biafra agitation. So after your atrocity, you are hiding under the umbrella of Igbo. This is how we will undermine ourselves. This is how we undermine ourselves. You may not be able to appreciate the battle we are fighting on behalf of all of you. But honestly, if we are meant for this purpose, we don't even need your creation to save you. But we will save you from IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu. Feel the pain. Get used to it. Because the journey has already begun. Or should I say, just begun. And of course, at this moment, I want to appreciate all of you who were able to call in. And you made your positive contribution. At the same time, apology to those of you I have not been able to attend to their call. Tomorrow is another day. And may God continue to guide and protect all of us, that we might be able to deliver this nation in our lifetime, all to the glory of His name. Good night and God bless.
It's a great nation. innocent Biafrans, where they flow like a river. I said the blood of innocent Biafrans, where they massacre, where they flow like a Red Sea. Spirit of innocent Biafrans, where they massacre, where they rise like a big star. Rise up, spiritually and physical. Rise up, upon anybody, where they again, this my freedom, oh. Rise up, upon anybody, where they again, this Biafra. Our Father who art in heaven, oh. We say hallowed be thy name, oh. We dey wait for your kingdom to come, oh. Right here on earth as it is in heaven, oh. We say promise, you promise your children. Promise, you promise your people, oh. We say promise, you promise the Biafra. Yeah, since I'm amalgamation, we see the suffer. They start to killing us since 1945. Till the today, they are not satisfied. Yeah, we're like a stranger in the land of scavengers. Then they kill us, then they eat us. So they make war governors and our senators. Don't turn against us, they want to stop us, but they cannot stop us. Yeah, Biafra is unstoppable, unstoppable, it's unstoppable. Because the fire is unquenchable, unquenchable, unquenchable. Freedom.